The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning.
On behalf of myself and Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, we would like to wish you a very happy holidays. And don't forget, Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is open 24/7 for emergency services to make sure you stay warm this holiday season. Go to standardheating.com today.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. 93
Dude, what bar should we hit today?
Want to hit Flanagan's?
Can't go there. I threw a bag of spiders at the bouncer because he was wearing the same shoes as me. Would you want to hit the Wooden Leaf? It's kind of divey, but it's fun.
Can't go back there. I flushed so many fish down their toilet, the city had to come in and rip pipe out of the ground.
We've been to the Butterfly Effect. They have a really cool DJ.
Used to pay homeless people to go in there and eat the wallpaper, and they did not find that funny at all. Hot Tin Roof, that place is great.
I don't want to go there. They don't let me wear my scary masks. That place is always like, take it off. You're making everyone uncomfortable. I'm like, country. We could hit Henrietta's basement.
That's where all the kids on the Better Karate team drink, so I'd be looking for trouble if I went in there. You down to do Murphy's?
Shouldn't go back there. I got pepper spray there, but the effects of the pepper spray did nothing to me, and that really freaked everyone out. Have you been to the Rusty Pole?
That place banned me, yeah. I used to bring my own darts in and try and throw them in people's eyes.
Actually, I'm banned there, too. We should probably figure out somewhere else to go.
Showtime.
Music has been taken out of this portion of the Half-Ass Morning Show podcast for licensing reasons.
Dude.
I love that bit.
Well, I was actually reacting to this riff that you got cooking here.
Brand new Mick Mars. I'd imagine everyone's familiar with Mick Mars, but if you're not, longtime guitarist Motley Crue, unceremoniously kicked out of the band, perhaps. Seems that way. But he's got a new album coming out next year, February 23rd, called The Other Side of Mars. And so he released a single on Halloween. We played that one.
I remember that. Good for him.
And this one's called Right Side of Wrong.
Okay.
Yeah, what I've heard sounds really good.
I like that opening riff.
Yeah, it's cool. Chunky.
I'll tell you what, it did sound a little chunky. I'll be damned. We're off and running here again on the 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. So, okay, let's talk about that comedy bit where dudes are asking another dude if he can go to this bar or that bar, and he's got a problem with every one of them because of past behaviors. What was I listening to?
That's exactly right. Friday Beers is the name of this comedy group, and they've got a podcast, YouTube, Instagram. These guys are pretty big online. A couple of brothers, I think, started it, and that bit is absolutely hilarious to me. And it led me to wondering, you guys are wild, wild, I tell you. Are there places you'd be uncomfortable going back to because of your behavior or maybe somebody you were associated with? Because for me, there's a couple, believe it or not. One would be, well, it's not there anymore, but Grandma's right over here in Minneapolis.
Oh, I've done some things I'm not proud of there.
Have you?
Yeah.
I don't know what it was. It was stupid. I'm even embarrassed to bring it up, but just for the sake of this topic, I mentioned this before, but I got really hammered. I was 21. And I broke a glass. Everyone thought it was hilarious, and I kept breaking glasses. And
Oh, yeah, that one.
And it was like, comedy for a little bit until I got picked up and thrown down the stairs by security, and then I felt like a piece of crap.
So if the way I remember it correctly is the first time was very funny. People got a kick out of it, and then you kept chasing that dragon by smashing more glasses.
That's exactly what happened. I didn't know when to end the bit. It was like a Family Guy bit sometimes where you're like, okay, is this going to end? I think it was the same type of thing.
Sir, we are out of glasses.
That's I like the question. Was there ever a place where you had second thoughts of re-entering because of you or a friend of yours' poor behavior?
We were just talking about this yesterday. I'm not much of a physical affectionate guy, and I'm not a public display of affection person. But there were 2 times I was hammered enough where I did that at 2 separate bars, again, as a younger man.
Yeah.
And I was so embarrassed of my behavior. And I know
just hugging everybody or what?
No, like making out with a girl.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
One was at a Nelly Furtado show. I think fine line. Yeah, my girlfriend was into her. She did have
Jesus, look at my face right now.
I know. And then
that just takes all of the wind out of my sails. Whenever you tell the story of when you went to a Natalie Furtado
close
concert.
Yeah, you're almost there.
Because your girlfriend liked her music.
Oh, she loved her music.
And you were just mauling each other, you and this young lady at this Furtado show.
So dumb. And
Jesus Christ.
The other
must
time,
have been a lot of women watching that.
watching us? Oh, I don't
Yeah.
think they were watching us, but
Well, like in around that concert.
yeah, it was mostly chicks.
There probably were a few women there, sure.
And then, which is very sexist of you, by the way. And then also
I didn't mean it that way.
I know I'm teasing. Went to the mermaid, right?
Oh, the maid.
The mermaid,
Sure.
and same
right.
type of thing.
You made
that,
out.
that was an old 93.7 The Edge gig. That was like a weekly gig, and there was a regular there, and both feeling a little amorous.
Yeah.
About 10 Scooby snacks into the night.
Oh.
And
That's good for your stomach.
Debauchery occurred, and then the next day I thought, what a douchebag I am.
When I think about it, I surprisingly I can't think of a single place I'd feel uncomfortable going back to.
That shocks me with you, and not just because of you. I know you're wild. You're a wonderful person, obviously, but you're wild.
Yeah.
And you do some things that I'm like, I can't believe you did that.
I guess maybe,
I was thinking more of the people you associated with for sure.
yeah, I guess no. Me and my friends are pretty good at behaving ourselves in public.
Well, you go to a lot
for the most part.
You go to a lot of dive bars where you gotta go out of your way to get thrown out of joints like that.
Yeah, definitely. You have to be like really messed up or really doing
need,
something.
You need to commit a felony to get kicked out of some of the places you go to.
Basically.
That's a great question. I'm thinking back to my more illicit, wilder days, and
I mean, what about towns? Would you ever go back to Maple Lake? And I'm not saying what happened to you was your fault.
it absolutely was not my fault. Oh yeah, I have plans for Maple Lake.
Even after the entire town, including the mayor, kicked your ass in the middle of the street.
Yeah, that's where the plans come from.
Oh, so we're like a revenge
I will
plans.
get my revenge.
Not to go and, make friends and try and mend fences.
Absolutely not.
You want to burn that place down.
Some folks might be,
figuratively.
some listeners might be saying, well, wasn't this in 91 or 92? That's a long time ago. Yeah, I remember when it was. Yeah, that was a long time ago. Doesn't matter.
Wasn't it like their city days too?
Yeah, it was a street dance.
The mayor's kicking your ass.
It was a street dance. I'm thinking back to my wilder, we used to just get annihilated and raise all different levels of hell and all different types of bars and roadhouses. There's only one that I can think of, Josh, where yes, I was apprehensive to walk back into the joint after a bad night that I had. It was a bar in Golden Valley. I don't think it exists anymore. But me and some buddies had been drinking all damn day on a Sunday. But yet here we are at 7 o'clock Sunday night. We're not done yet. We want to watch the Sunday night football game. That shows you right there how long ago this was. Because now
you were interested in football?
Yeah, I don't even watch the Sunday night football game in my own home. But this was when I really loved the NFL. If I remember correctly, it was Dan Marino's final game.
Oh, I could see wanting to watch that for sure.
Or Dan Marino's retirement game where, the team, the Dolphins, were going to honor him at halftime. It was something to do with Dan Marino. But, we were just blasted, me and my pals, and trouble started in the bar between my table of pals and some of the local yokels that drank there all the time. It wasn't my first time by a long shot at this bar. So we went in there quite often, actually, because a friend of mine lived in the neighborhood. But so I knew who the local yokels were and who weren't. So anyway, we were pretty obnoxious and, not harming anybody or bothering anybody. We were just loud and drunk watching this Dan Marino football game. And some of the regulars had a problem with us. It had to do with karaoke, and there's no reason to get into the details, but I got nose to nose with this one dude. We were going to scrap. But we got separated. And the bartender said, why don't you guys get the hell out of here? He said that to me and my pals. That's enough. You're gone.
Wait, so you guys were kind of instigating it, or they
No.
It wasn't that?
No, really. Like I was saying, we weren't bothering. We were loud and drunk, but it's a bar, for God's sake. the regulars had a problem. The regulars, you probably experience this once in a while if you go to different bars to drink. Sometimes the regulars have a real edge to them, as if to say, hey, I'm a regular. I can behave that way here, but you can't. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
Some of the people that I drink with get that attitude. Well, I am a regular. So anyway, hey, I was loaded. I was drunk. But I'm not going to say that we were the instigators. The instigators were these regulars who thought we were, we didn't earn the right to have that much fun in their bar, is kind of the approach. So, like I said, I ended up nose to nose with this dude. We got separated, and I was pissed, really pissed, and I was really frustrated that we were having to leave. So this is what I did. I'm not proud of it. But this is why I was apprehensive the next time to even walk into the joint. I was wondering if maybe they had my picture on the wall. Because as we were walking out of the joint, remember, we had been drinking since about 8 o'clock in the morning. And back then, I only used cash at the bar. So I probably had about $13 of coins in my pocket from all the beers being bought all day long. You following what I'm saying? My right front pocket is just bulging with change. So on my way out, I took that whole handful of change in my right hand and I threw it as hard as I could at everyone at the bar.
No, Nick.
I hit the bartender in the eye.
No.
I hit some old lady in the lip with a quarter. I hit some guy who had nothing to do with it in the cheek with a nickel. I hit everybody in the bar. Bomb! Threw my loose change at him.
Yeah, that would be. And you did go back though.
A couple, week later.
Ballsy.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous what I did, but I was furious, and I was young. I still had a lot of piss and vinegar. What was really funny was right when we walk out the door, a cop is already parked in the parking lot, gets out of his car, and I thought, son of a bitch, we're going to jail. And the cop says, are you the guys who were having trouble with the regulars in there? And we weren't going to lie. We said, yeah, that was us. And he said, get the hell out of here.
Nice cop.
He could have done something, but he didn't. But yeah, I ended up hitting innocent people in the eye socket with sweaty quarters and dimes because I didn't get a chance to fight this dude.
Classic Country Jesus said back in 2011, he and his buddies would frequent a bar Thursdays for ladies' night. And as he goes on to say, like any other typical douchebag would. As they left one night, he smoked out the entire outdoor patio with his diesel truck as he left. I figured I better not go back again. That was so dumb, LOL.
But I did. That's a great story. I did go back to that joint. Nothing was said,
Another person here says, former dive bar in Maplewood. A friend pissed in the corner. I took him out and told the bartender. All they heard was piss in the corner, and they tossed me out like I did it. The place isn't there anymore, but I didn't want to risk going back and be pointed out as the piss guy.
Yeah.
Well, more or less, I was able to hold it together 9 times out of 10. There've only been a few times where my behavior got a little crazy and I, like you were saying, Josh, I might have some apprehension to re-enter that place 3, 4, 5 days later. I held it together fairly well as a young guy.
Well, maybe this text will change that. Here's a different way to... I wasn't thinking along these lines. Up at the crack of dawn, Jesus said, I had a one-night stand with a waitress at a restaurant in Egan and ignored her calls afterwards. Couldn't go back to that place years afterwards.
Oh.
Not a proud moment.
Dude.
Okay,
I want to know what
change?
restaurant in Egan it was.
Yeah, me too. Does that change anybody? Does that
No.
So you haven't had that
It's
situation?
making me think that...
Oh, I hooked up with... I can't go back there.
That text is making me think there had to have been...
Yeah, there's certain bars I wouldn't go to because they're too close to people I've hooked up with. Like, we hung out at those bars, and, I don't want to have to run into them.
There must have been a few of those, Josh. I just can't think of one right now.
I would think probably a lot of people listening have been in a situation like that. Even if you didn't just pick them up at the bar, it's, they go there or they work there.
Right. I had a handful of encounters that I never wanted to I never wanted to, see that person again, I guess. I don't know. It's very good questions, though.
Texas Carpenter said he and Magic Mike Jesus can't go back to a place called Sidelines in California. They invented a game one night called 50-foot darts, where you throw the darts from the actual bar to the dartboard area right over the top of everyone's head. Yeah, they can't go back
That's
after
awesome.
that night.
Anyone here ever been 86'd?
No. Never been kicked out.
Never permanently.
My buddies were. I was like associated with my buddies, so we were in a big group. I think it was after New Year's, and a couple of my buddies weren't eating their breakfast or anything. They were taking shots, they were drinking beers, and then the bartender came over when one of them wanted some more drinks, and he's like, "No, you guys just get out of here. You're not eating." And that's how we got 86.
You
from
got
the bar.
86 too, huh?
Well, wait, maybe I used the wrong term. 86 meaning you're not allowed to come back for a certain amount of days.
No, not that then.
Okay. That's what I believe the term 86 to mean, where the bar, says you are not allowed to come back here for 30 days, 60 days.
Oh, I thought it was just a day.
Okay.
I know a couple of people that have been 86 out of like a bar I like to go to.
Any
I miss you.
Any particular reason you can think of?
Actually, a good one is I had a regular when I was a server, and he was a great person. He knew every one of the servers, knew all the managers, and one day something happened and he got in a fight with some stranger, I guess, and threw a beer on the floor and the glass shattered, and he got kicked out for like 3 years.
Whoa.
It was crazy. And then when his time was up, he just came back like nothing ever happened. It's like, dude, I missed you.
Did they have his picture on the wall?
No, it was like everybody knew him and knew his name, so it was easy to keep him out.
Probably the dumbest 86ing, if that's a word, that I ever saw happen was at a little joint, $1 taco night. $1.
That's a good deal.
Okay.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Now, as you might imagine, this is quite a few years ago, but $1 taco night. Some old timer. How cheap is this bastard? He wouldn't go get his own taco for $1. He would just eat off of his woman's plate. His woman would go get 2 tacos for $2 and then sit next to the old timer guy, and he would just eat some of hers. And the bartender says, go get your own taco. That's kind of chintzy, isn't it? Aren't you a little embarrassed that you're eating? It's $1 and you're eating off of your girlfriend's plate. Go get your. And this guy bitched and pissed and moaned up and down about that rule. It's $1 taco, and there's got to be some rules, right, on a deal like that, or people will take advantage of it. And the bartender says, you can't just eat off somebody else's plate. Get $1 out of your pocket, go get your own taco. And the guy raised so much hell about it, he got 86 for like 90 days. Get out of here! And then the guy's bitching on the way out. That's just a ripoff. What are you talking about? It's $1 taco.
I would have loved to see that.
Over-caffeinated Jesus said, in the Army, there was a bar in South Korea. My buddy was dipping and couldn't find a spitter, so he just used the floor.
Oh, no.
The owner got upset, kicked them all out, and the following weekend, he said all U.S. military personnel were banned.
This guy really doesn't like
military.
He kicked out the military over that.
He either hates America or hates Copenhagen or something.
Have you guys ever seen a place that puts pictures on the wall?
Well, yeah.
I have, yes, of long time ago, people who had bounced checks.
Oh. Yeah, yep, I've seen that too, actually.
So obviously that's not, you don't really, people aren't writing checks like they used to. But yeah, I've seen that before.
You mean pictures of people who are no longer allowed in the building?
Kicked out. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, hell, we had one hanging in this building for a while, didn't we, Josh?
Yeah, we sure did.
Oh,
that would be an honor.
Did. I forgot about that.
There was, I could think of a couple people that should be 86 from bars, certainly, and I don't know why they haven't yet.
There's probably a good 5-6 more stories that I just can't come up with, but that's a fun topic.
I did we're coming up on the anniversary because around Christmas time, I got kicked out of my favorite bar in college, and I was just trying to help. I had everyone's best intentions in mind. It was a Christmas party, like 2 nights before Christmas. Bar was packed. The bartenders were slammed. So I, out of the goodness of my heart, decided to go behind the bar and start pouring beers for people. And they did not take kindly to that, and I was dragged out of the place.
Oh, man.
I was just trying to help.
I would have been so pissed.
Just trying to help, Ashley.
I always wanted to get a chance to kick somebody out, but no one's ever, in all my years bartending, no one's ever done anything where I've got to do that yet.
It was at Sally's, the old Sally's, before they tore it down and redid it. But it was at the old Sally's, and the bouncer at the time was this guy who I knew because I frequented that place a lot. He was a big MMA type guy, and he just bear hugged me and was dragging me out, and he goes, "You can come back tomorrow, but you got to leave for the night."
This is a friend of yours?
Yeah, I just got to know him from going to the bar all the time.
Those guilt by association situations can be fun, when your buddies are acting like dildos and they get thrown out, and then you got to get thrown out too. I understand the mentality of the security personnel or the bouncer, like, okay, just, sorry, but those are your bros. I can't, where the bouncer might say, I know you haven't done anything, but I can't trust you either. So they throw.
That's exactly what he said when he was kicking my buddies out. He's like, "Sorry, Wapo, I know it wasn't you, but you got to go too."
One night years ago at a bar in Wayzata, my brother's been dry for, I don't even know, 25 years. Doesn't drink. When he drank, he raised more hell than all of us times 10. He was real trouble. This is back when my brother was drinking, and him and one of our high school buddies, and then a guy that I talk about on this show a lot, Big Al. So it was my brother and one of our high school buddies and Big Al drinking at this bar, and my brother and this high school buddy were absolute animals. They were animals. They were acting like animals, talking like it. They were bringing in their own booze, right?
No.
Bars love that, right? Bars love that when you show up wildly intoxicated and then you bring in your own bottle, They got a beer on the bar, but they're also going to take, some sips off this. But they're idiots. And the bartender had enough, grabbed my brother by the belt loop, fired him out the door. Grabbed my brother's buddy, fired him out the door. Big Al hadn't done a damn thing wrong. He's sitting there with his beer, I guess I'll finish out the night alone. Next thing you know, whip Al out the door.
Everybody's gone.
Yeah, Al's like, I did it. Out onto the parking lot. Threw Big Al out, too.
I get friction on a pickle jar, Jesus said. He was 86 from a bar for getting caught fart spraying a buddy. They kicked him out.
What do you mean, fart spraying?
Using fart spray.
That's bad.
A can of... I like your makeout stories, Josh, I do.
It's just so not who I am.
Exactly.
And that's why I'm so embarrassed by it.
I've never been a PDA guy, even when you're young and you think that you kind of have to show, hey, look, I'm sexually active, or, whatever. Young people love that bit. Even when I was young, I didn't get into the PDA thing. I don't. But I will share in your embarrassment by telling you this one. This was a hell of a deal. Went to go see a cover band, terrible, awful cover band, and this blonde was just stunning, and I didn't think there was a chance in hell that she'd have an interest in me, but next thing you know, we were jaw-jacking, and we were both pretty loaded, and the bad cover band fired up. I think it was Every By God Mean Gene Rose Has Its Thorn.
Sure.
And so we went on the dance floor.
That was a big hit from Poison.
Sure it was. I'm okay with slow dancing. So I went out there and we're slow dancing, and then, like you were saying, totally not my style, but me and this blonde just started kissing, and we kept kissing, and we kissed through the entire effing song. We didn't think, because we were drunk and stupid, we didn't think anybody was paying attention. When they finished up this boring Poison love song, the band and everyone else on the dance floor was clapping for us. That's how much of a stupid show,
no,
you know what I mean?
man.
Sarcastic clapping.
Yes.
Like, hey, way to go. Yeah, it was so embarrassing.
Yeah, that is embarrassing.
But wah wah wee wah. And might I add, wah wee wah.
Really?
Yeah.
Boy, there's a lot of great stories coming in. Shoot, we're running out of time.
A lot of us have behaved poorly. We've behaved poorly at the bar. There's no reason why we can't bring this up a little bit later. No reason.
No reason at all.
No reason whatsoever.
Oh, yeah. And one more little note. You were talking about, what did you say? Somebody said this. You have an encounter with someone at a bar, sexual encounter, and then you never return their calls, you never acknowledge their existence ever again, right?
Yep.
So then you try to stay away from that bar just in case. Christ almighty, friend of mine, he moved out of town years ago. We stopped in, I think it was Forest Lake maybe or something. We were taking a trip up north. Stopped in Forest Lake. We were going to have lunch at this bar. And, we were walking in the parking lot, almost into the bar restaurant, and my buddy hits the brakes, and he goes, I can't go back in here. And we said, what are you talking about? And he said, I hooked up with one of the waitresses, and I never called her. She called me hundreds of times. I never acknowledged her again. And we said, well, how long ago is this? He's like, I don't know, like 15, 16 years ago.
I think you're good. I think you're good, bro.
He wouldn't do it. He wouldn't do it. We said, what are the odds that she's still in there? I guess she frightened him enough to where he said, I'm not going in there. We had to get back in the car and go to some other joint. Hell of a deal. All right, what are we doing today? Thursday? We're getting close. Getting close.
Jordan Maxx is coming in?
Oh, yeah. That'll be nice.
Jordan Maxx will be here later. Look forward to that. All right, you're a great crowd. We'll be right back on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Half-Assed Morning Show.
They're loud, they lose control, they do their little circus act, they're a nuisance.
93X.
Grace here, customer service rep at Standard Heating. I'm proud to work for a company that understands and takes care of our fellow Minnesotans. Our weather here can be a little unpredictable and even extreme. That's why we've been here for 93 years and counting, to keep our community safe and comfortable.
On behalf of myself and Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, we would like to wish you a very happy holidays. And don't forget, Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is open 24/7 for emergency services to make sure you stay warm this holiday season. Go to standardheating.com today.
Get an inside look at Hollywood with Michael Rosenbaum.
Let's get inside of my father, John Glover. We watched Talk Phil, and most of these episodes I never saw.
I didn't watch the show.
You never once saw yourself on Smallville?
In the beginning, I used to look at myself all the time and love to. And then as I get older, I stopped.
Why is that?
I don't know. Maybe because I'm older.
I was going to talk to you about that because you're 79?
Yeah.
How old do you feel?
11.
Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum. Wherever you listen. Stupid news on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Hell yeah. We had a conversation a few minutes ago about, if we've ever really behaved poorly at a bar, been thrown out, been 86, maybe your buddies got thrown out. Maybe you behaved so poorly, you were apprehensive to re-enter that establishment a week later, a month later, 6 months later, whatever. We've all effed up here and there a little bit. You have too many drinkies. You might make a jackass out of yourself. Got some great text messages here on poor behavior at the bar. Here's BMXG says, well, this was a little bit different than poor behavior at a bar, but it does involve drinking. BMXG says, my dad, my brother-in-law, and myself got kicked out of the Grand Rapids Mall. We were drunk, and we decided to ride the little kids' mini carousel. And he said security was not having it.
Yeah, I'll bet.
Kicked out of the Grand Rapids Mall. Josh and I are probably the only ones old enough to remember Mississippi Live. There was a joint. Well, I went there a few times, but it was so long ago.
I've never been there, but I know what you're talking about.
You remember the joint?
Of course, yeah.
Wasn't it over kind of northeast Minneapolis?
I think so.
It was many.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, I don't think it's been a thing for decades, but Mississippi Live, that was like a real hot spot in the early 90s. Tonka Jesus says he was a bouncer at Mississippi Live. And he says, we used to wait for guys to pee in the courtyard. We would walk up behind them, put them in a full Nelson, and walk them out with their junk swinging. It was hilarious, he says.
Similar to the mall story from BMX Jesus, Ninja Turtle Nutcase Jesus said he never got kicked out of a bar. But he did get kicked out of a Toys R Us because he and a friend would get on tricycles, grab lightsabers, and then joust down the aisles.
Come on, that's fun.
I respect that.
Texas Carpenter was 86 from a Walmart as an adult, he said, which was embarrassing. I thought it would be funny to go to the intercom and make insane announcements in order to show my kids what I used to do for fun as a kid. Mm-hmm. I did it 5 times until they walked up to me and said, come with us or we'll call the police. He had to sign a form saying he will not enter that Walmart or he'd be considered trespassing. Hey, kids, let me show you how to have some fun.
Right.
That's great.
Here's Daddy almost arrested.
Yeah.
All right, finally, before we get to the stupid news, this is a text from a listener who's just explaining why he doesn't go back to his neighborhood bar. It doesn't have anything to do with terrible behavior on his part or a friend of his. He just says there's a bar in his neighborhood where he's decided he's never going there again. And the reason why cracked me up, he says, because every night there is a sad high school reunion.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Everybody knows that bar.
Well, see, there's nothing wrong with that. That's my entire existence is a sad high school reunion. Every night that I go to my favorite neighborhood bar, the Wise at American Legion, we have a sad high school reunion. Now, personally, I like that, but some people don't. I just love the way he said that. Every night is a sad high school reunion. That's my jam. All right, you dickheads, here we go with the stupid news. We're going to... Ouch. All right, beloved coworkers.
Now we're talking.
There we go.
That puts a little pep in my step.
Yeah, I got a smile now.
Dicks, we're going to go ahead.
Wait a minute.
And begin today's stupid news segment by discussing a Christmas movie called The Santa Claus. Never saw it.
It's got your favorite actor in there. Tim Allen.
Mm-hmm. Love that movie.
From one of your favorite shows, Last Man Standing.
This is the only Tim Allen vehicle that I've never watched.
You study his entire career otherwise.
I've seen Wild or Old Hogs or whatever it's called.
Oh, that's a good one.
Every night I watch Last Man Standing.
Mm-hmm. You love Home Improvement.
Yes, you do. You've been very vocal about that in the past.
That show was so funny.
Not like it pained you to say that.
That show was incredibly funny.
You know, the Santa Claus dies in the Santa Claus.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. You guys have all seen it?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I remember thinking, what's happening here at the beginning of the movie?
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, like 4 minutes in, they kill off Santa.
Yeah. He dies in a fall.
Terrific.
Merry Christmas.
Wasn't
Really?
it like a Disney movie, too?
It was.
Yep.
Well, it was
I'm not sure.
It was geared towards
It was a kids' movie.
Yeah.
Santa Claus falls, hits his head, and dies?
Yes.
That's
That's how Tim Allen becomes Santa Claus.
I would like
Tim
to say
Allen
that
steals
sounds
his gig.
that sounds
Never
great.
even had a funeral.
That was a Disney movie, Wobble.
I did like that movie.
It's very interesting. Okay, the story here says that The Santa Claus is a fun family film. They even go as far here, Cubby, to call it a holiday classic. But did you know that when it first hit theaters, I'll try that again. Did you know that when it first hit theaters, it prompted children to call a sex hotline? And although I've never bothered with the Santa Claus, this story sounds familiar to me. I think I'd heard this before. When the movie first was pumped out, back in 1900 plus 94, there was a scene where Tim Allen's ex-wife is dropping their son off at his place. And she gives Tim a slip of paper containing the number of her new boyfriend's house in case he needs to reach her in an emergency. Tim looks at the paper and sarcastically says, quote, 1-800-SPANK-ME. I know that number.
Here's Neil's mom's number in case.
1-800-SPANK-ME. I know that number.
I think I said it better, but...
Nobody can outdo Tim Allen when it comes to comedy.
He's Tim Allen, I'm not. So even though it was only a joke, 1-800-SPANK-ME turned out to be a legit sex line at the time. And people complained that their kids were calling it after seeing the movie.
It's crazy to me that nobody that was involved in the movie decided to call that number or give it a shot.
So the little kids are in the theater, They see this cute joke about 1-800-SPANK-ME, and then they go home after the movie and they start calling the number. All those kids calling that same phone sex line at the same time. That must have been a hectic time for all of your mothers. Except Josh's mother, of course.
No, she
wasn't working in the phone sex
She's
industry.
chaste.
But all
She
the
is
rest
chaste.
of your mothers were at the time working in the phone sex industry.
Dana still is.
To this day?
Gotta pay bills.
Oh, by the way, we've got our usual Thursday call today at 4:20.
The scene made it into VHS and Laserdisc versions of the movie, but eventually Disney removed that scene from future releases. So it never appeared on a DVD or a Blu-ray release, or on the version that's streaming currently, I guess, on the Disney Channel. But for a while there, it was available. Now it's not available. And for the record, 1-800-SPANK-ME is still a sex hotline. Let's call it after the show and ask to speak to all of your mothers except Josh's mother. It's a cute story, right?
You pick him up, you drop them, Jesus has an update on Santa Claus. He didn't die, he retired. That a new series called Santa Claus on Disney explains it. Well, that's good. Took him a while to explain that to us.
A couple years there.
Yeah, a couple decades.
I dig that when pop culture bleeds into real life and causes trouble. I mean, the one that comes to mind for most folks, especially if you're around my age, is 8675 by God Woo Mean Gene 309. Tommy Two-Tone? Wasn't that the name of the act, Josh?
I believe so.
That's going to be stuck in my head now.
They put together that song 8675309, and Jesus balls. That's all folks did. That's all teenagers did in 1982.
I've even done it.
Was go home and call that number. And whoever had the number back then, it drove them,
I bet,
mental.
My generation, it was that song, the number that's in the Soulja Boy song.
Oh, I got it.
Yeah,
It's,
nope. Let me take this one. Nope.
Yeah. Oh, the number from the
is all
Soulja
me.
Boy song? No, I got it before you will, Josh. It's, I'm kidding. I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's really popular. Let me
Kiss
try to
Me
find
Through
it.
the Phone? Is that the name of the song?
Yep.
Was it Pizza Hut's number, 4888888? Pizza Hut delivery is really great.
That's a good tune.
Yep.
Well, yeah, but they meant for you to call that number.
Oh, yeah, true. I was just thinking about that song so much.
Thinking about numbers.
Like there's some old timer in Michigan with that friggin' number, and suddenly he's like, "Wait a minute, what's happening?
What the hell?
Why does everyone want a thin crust
That would be a mega
pepperoni
joke.
and green olive from me?"
We just hate this one dude.
Waffle,
What
that's
the
called
hell?
advertising.
There's a song I am tempted to sing with a phone number in it, but it would infuriate people, which actually makes it more tempting.
Oh, what is it?
1877. Okay, I'll stop.
Well, the one that always comes to mind for me, there's a popular rapper when I was in college named Mike Jones, and he put his actual phone number in the song. And so anyone who's around my age will know 281-330-8004. Get Mike Jones up on the blow.
On the blow.
I actually like the Cars for Kids song. I do.
Do you?
Yeah. Jenny, who should I turn to? I really like that song.
That's a great song.
They had a cool sound. Tommy Two-Tone. Did I get the right act?
Yeah, it's Tommy Two-Tone.
Okay.
Well, let me Google it, but I'm
Sometimes
fairly certain that's who it is.
Sometimes I get lost there, and I can't quite remember if it was Tommy Two-Tone or what was the other act that sounded a lot like... anyway.
Yeah, Tommy Two-Tone.
Yeah, fair enough. Is he doing all right?
I'll ask him. I'm more of a Soulja Boy guy.
We know you are.
All right, tech dorks. Those of you who have hot new techie devices strewn from one side of your house to the other, you'll take an interest in this. A woman in New Zealand who killed her own father, by God.
Oof.
She got busted for the crime after cops bugged her house with all types of audio and video recording devices. The dad killer, she goes by the name of Lynn Martin. She was recently found guilty of her dad's murder 10 stinking years after killing the guy. It was a pretty brutal murder, too. She burned the poor guy to death.
Oh.
She was accused of starting a fire that killed him. She left a pot of oil on the stove while her old man was asleep. Burned him up.
How diabolical.
So here's the deal. The local cops must have been pretty damn sure that she was the one who started the fire because they got up into her house and bugged the joint, her telephone and everything. And the cops got hours and hours of evidence they could use against her. Conversations with her husband who was in on it and this and that. Well, what do you folks have in the house? Tell me about all the gadgets. Go ahead.
Well, I certainly have gadgets that listen for it. Yeah, I've got some Amazon devices that record that kind of thing.
Yeah, I have one, but it's not plugged in or ever on.
That, I guess, a Ring camera.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got cameras that record audio.
You guys have any cameras in the house? So where if you're in the bedroom, you can see what's going on in the bathroom, or if you're in the bathroom, you can see...
Yeah, shower cam, toilet cam.
I also have shower cams and toilet cams in Josh's bedroom, in Josh's house.
That's how I knew they were there.
Yeah.
I always wanted one in the living room just for, like, if something happens. Because stupid things happen all the time, and I'm like, gosh, I wish we got that on camera.
My girlfriend has one in the living room that can check on the dog when we're out there.
What we have.
A lot of people have it for that reason. A little nanny cam for the dogs.
Yeah.
Or nanny cam for a nanny. All ours are out on the exterior of the house.
My girlfriend, sometimes she'll bug into the video camera so then she can talk back to the dogs. And I'm like, you're just freaking the dogs out. They're going to look around for you all day.
I like doing that too.
You guys got all kinds of stuff. Okay, so the police over there, wherever New Zealand is, they even used an undercover...
Just north of Texas.
Yeah.
They even used an undercover cop to make friends with this lady, the lady who killed her dad. They got an undercover cop to make friends with this lady to try to get her to talk about killing her dad.
Boy, that would be tough to befriend a douchebag like that. Just a villain.
The undercover cop, played it nicely. The undercover cop told this Martin lady, hey, I'm having serious troubles with my boyfriend. And Martin fell for the gimmick and said, well, torch the house. Arson is the easiest thing in the world and very hard to prove. So all this evidence was stacking up and stacking up. Martin told the undercover cop that cooking fat on the stove was the best way of starting a fire. She also warned the cop not to take her cell phone with her and not to leave fingerprints or DNA. Apparently, this Martin lady killed her father dead because she was bankrupt and wanted the $150,000 inheritance she would get when he punched out.
Oh, $150,000.
Yeah, that'd be pretty clutch.
You're tempted? Is your dad in trouble?
$150,000?
I would be like, that's all I'm worth? Is that much?
$150,000.
Pretty cold. All right, while we're talking about fire, this type of deal should go down in human history as one of the all-time dumbest ways to F your own life up. And it happens way more frequently than you might think. A dude in Japan, by damn, he was locked in on killing a cockroach that was running around his place in the middle of the night. And after it was all said and done, the poor bastard had blown a hole in his own apartment. That's great. I love this stuff. According to the local news over there, this guy's a 54-year-old already. A week ago in the middle of the damn night, a cockroach went scooting on by. So this guy grabbed all his bottles of roach killer and he started spraying that swill all over the apartment.
I understand.
Yeah, you don't like those bugs.
No, I'm not a fan.
Personally, I can watch a bug go by, doesn't do a damn thing to me. I'm friends to the bugs.
I mean, I could put up with mice, snakes. The bugs just look like aliens. I grew up in a basement where I'd wake up with them all over. Not a fan.
Yeah.
If I saw a cockroach in my house, the first thing I'm doing is I'm putting a Chris Lindahl sign in my front yard. I'm out.
So what Cockroach Rambo didn't know, and I got to admit, this kind of thing would never cross my mind either, is apparently the cockroach killer juice is about as combustible as it gets. So only about a minute after he's blasting cockroach killer money shots all over his apartment, an explosion cut loose and it blew his balcony window right on out and down onto the street. Just boom! Blew a hole in the side of his apartment building. Word is the spray that this fellow was shooting everywheres can be triggered just by dumping too much of it near an electrical outlet. But in this case, the local fire department thinks he sprayed too close to a heater he had going. And it was just like a grenade. Next thing you know, he's got Japan's biggest glory hole in the side of his apartment. And I would guess the cockroach doesn't give a rat's ass how this all played out.
Nope.
Jesus Christ.
Laughing his cockroach ass off somewhere.
Maybe just pick up a shoe next time. Oh, and the dude did get hurt a little bit, too. He got, as you can imagine, he had some pieces taken out of him when that explosion happened. Just imagine you live across the street and you just woke up in the middle of the night for no reason and you're watching this happen through windows. Wouldn't that be incredible?
Yeah, that'd be fun.
You're just like having a bottle of water. God, I wish I could get back to sleep. Well, let's see what the neighbor's doing. Oh, he looks like he's chasing around a bug with oh my God! That would be, I mean, how lucky would you be right there? People are texting in, did he get the cockroach? Doesn't sound like he got the cockroach. Like I said, I bet that cockroach is just, hey, what was that? You know?
Oh, yeah, and they like supposedly can survive fire or something, right?
Not my boot heel they can't survive, but yeah, I mean.
They can survive the apocalypse, people say.
Yeah.
Now, this is effing quality stupid news material right here. It is. Our dude in a town called Parker, Colorado, two sorry-ass derelicts who were convicted of felony theft for stealing more than $2,000 worth of merchandise from a Kohl's store. These two effing clowns argued in court for a lesser charge because the items that they snatched were on sale and they had coupons.
You know, that's kind of genius.
Brilliant in a weird way.
I mean, some of these lawyers are so good. I never would have thought of something like that.
Mm-hmm. You gotta have the biggest balls in town to even bring that up.
Oh, yeah, you do. I mean, just in a level of desperation, right? Mm-hmm. Like, this is all we got, guys.
Almost if nothing else, just to make your other lawyer buddies laugh about it, you know? Like, dude, I can't believe you pulled that off, man.
The two plugs involved in this theft are Michael Green, he's 50 for Christ's sake, and another guy called Byron Bolden, he's 37. They were given a nickname in the neighborhood here in Parker, Colorado, I guess, because of what they did. They were given the nickname of the KitchenAid Mixer Crew because of the high-end KitchenAid appliances that were stolen in this caper.
So they got about 2 KitchenAids.
Yeah, those things are expensive.
Yeah, those are insane.
They also swiped some brand new shoes, dude. And some clothes, too.
I'm wearing shoes from Kohl's.
Are you really?
Right now. Yeah. Look out, ladies.
They usually got pretty good deals there.
They sure do.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they're trying to get lesser charges.
Yep.
That true?
Yeah, exactly. They're trying to face a lesser charge because some of the items they stole were on sale. Now, in Colorado, theft under $2,000 is a misdemeanor offense, but the value of the items that these idiots stole was $2,094, so that makes it a felony. So that's why they're making this weak-ass argument. They also, like I said, they also asked the jury to take into account their Kohl's coupons that would bring the value of the... Prosecutors.
Sorry. These are expired.
Prosecutors argued that I love the way they said this too. Sales and discounts are for paying customers, you dildos. So, one of the dudes, the older dude, he's up against 15 months in prison. The other one, 90 days in jail.
That is pretty funny that they came up with that.
And I want to tell you, I mean this. I'm being as sincere as I've ever been on this program. I want to thank each and every one of you by saying absolutely nothing about Kirk Cousins while we had that conversation.
Didn't even cross my mind.
Good.
Crossed mine.
Good.
I knew better than to bring it up.
I was picturing his new chain.
Me too. His big Kohl's Cash diamond chain or whatever it is.
My mom would love that.
Oh, is that Kirko chains?
Yeah,
remember
Kirko
that
chain.
when he was on the airplane and he was
Then shirtless? Oh, yeah.
Pretty good.
Doing his little dance?
That's in my memory forever.
Yes,
All right,
to...
I'm taking back my thank you.
Nobody would have brought it up if you didn't. It
Well, you
opened the
guys
door.
started to...
We were thinking about it. Lake Street Handshake Jesus. Yes to your question about these shoes I'm wearing at Kohl's. I thought I get made fun of a lot for my shoe choices. People think they're too dad shoes, they're dorky. I don't really get it. I don't see what's wrong with shoes that I'm picking out, but our boss did buy me a pair of shoes and people love them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's a cool pair I have. But yeah, I went to Kohl's. I thought, I got some cool shoes here. I brought them up to the counter, and the lady, probably 60-some years old, said, hey, these are a great pair of shoes. And I said, I knew it. I thought they're pretty great. She said, check them out. I'm wearing them right now. So she had the same ones on.
Yeah, you can't go back after that either.
No.
I've had these for years.
You were wearing the same tennis shoes as the checkout lady?
Yeah, these ones right here. And again, I'm going to guess she was 65 years old.
You are a friggin' pimp.
I know.
Look at those.
I really thought I won.
Those are sharp.
Stylish.
Are you serious? Are you making fun of me?
They look good.
Fila.
She has good taste then.
Isn't that a hockey, or a soccer brand?
Yeah, they do a lot of soccer stuff, yeah.
Well, you know what would squash all this stress, Josh, over, are you buying cool enough tennis shoes? Is just stop wearing tennis shoes.
I love tennis shoes. I can't wear work boots. People will make fun of me. They'll find out what I do for a living.
F those people.
I couldn't do that. What about cowboy boots?
Oh, that'd be hot.
Cowboy boots, I feel like you can only wear to like weddings and stuff like that around here, at least.
What?
What
just
at a
wedding?
I've seen that. Yeah, people have used those as like dress shoes.
Dress shoes, you know.
But I could only wear them at a wedding? What if I go to a country bar?
I guess.
You could go to like Cowboy Jack's.
What if I go horseback riding?
I was like, it's not like we're going baling hay or anything like that.
Yeah, and you're
Kinda
gonna have to
just
like run
sitting by
over them a
computers.
couple times, make them look like they've been worn in.
Oh, that's true.
All right, dudes, how about this deal? A rare medical anomaly is what this is being called by folks who know such things. A woman got a pretty big surprise when doctors told her she was 23 weeks pregnant. That's the sound of a regular heartbeat right there.
Oh, I thought it was phlegm. That regular heartbeat is
No,
scary.
it's fine. It's fine.
I wish it was phlegm.
Right.
Josh? Josh?
Yes?
Is that you?
Don't go towards the light.
Check in on you from time to time.
Goodbye, Butters.
Goodbye. No, it happens once in a while. Sometimes you have to. Those of you who have irregular heartbeats, you know that sometimes you have to kind of straighten it out. Sorry about that. So, a woman was told by the doctor that she was 23 weeks pregnant and that the baby was growing inside her bowel.
Oh, that's not where.
Didn't know that was possible.
I mean, yeah, you don't usually poop out kids.
No.
Oh, did they have anal?
Oh, they might have.
That's how
That's how
probably
it happens.
the old butt baby.
Yep.
This gal's 37 years old. She upped and visited her doctor after 10 straight days of severe abdominal pain and bloat. She had bloat.
The worst.
And when the doctors took a look at her guts, they saw a little baby in there. Little damn baby, where the poop normally is.
I'd be so pissed.
That'd be your reaction? You're just mad?
I'd be like, there? Really? This is why my stomach hurts?
They call it an abdominal ectopic. Ectopic is where I'm going to go that way. They call it an abdominal
Oh, ectopic.
ectopic, okay, pregnancy, where a fertilized egg implants outside of the uterus and instead in the abdominal cavity. Doesn't happen very damn often, they say here.
I've heard of that happening before, but never in that location. Like I've heard like ectopic pregnancies, they're usually in like fallopian tubes. I think that's correct. I don't know much about women's biology. It's kind of sad. I probably should, but
No.
We don't.
And I heard it's a pretty a severe situation if you find that out.
It's not good. This is not good. It's dangerous for the mother and for the little baby. Bad things can happen. But you're right. I think later on in the story, Ashley, they talk about how usually, none of this is usual, but if you're going to have one of these weirdo different pregnancies, it usually ends up in the fallopian damn tubes. I do not wrestle people with fallopian tubes. What wrestler?
That's Santino Morel.
Right. It's not good. This poor lady was sent off to the hospital. The baby was hauled out much earlier than normal. And I'm happy to say that after hanging around the hospital for a good stretch of time, the mother and her baby turned out okay, and they got the hell out of there. Weird things can happen. A pediatrician once told a story on that stupid TikTok gimmick. A pediatrician told a story about a fetus growing in a woman's liver.
That's crazy.
But these are the kind
wow. Bodies are nuts.
This reinforces my stand on pulling out being the way to go.
Yeah.
Some of these complications that can happen are just terrible.
You're saving lives.
Works 100% of the time.
Oh, man. I doubled the amount of fiber I usually take if I'm in trouble yesterday.
Uh-oh.
And I'm worried about having a butt baby.
Yeah.
I'm worried about a pregnancy back.
So if we see you running out of the studio, we know why?
Yeah. I brought cigars for everyone just in case. Today might be the day.
It's going to be a gender reveal.
You're still having problems, Cubby?
Dude, it's since the last couple of years. It's ridiculous. I've tried everything, and people have been so kind via text and so sympathetic and actually okay with me talking about it, which is surprising. But yeah, man, I just can't figure it out.
Have you used like Miralax or something like that?
Oh, yeah, baby.
Oh, for God's sake. He's been dealing with it for 2 years.
He knows it daily, Waffle.
Miralax already.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, give the guy some credit.
He just drinks it like juice.
I mean, have you, seen a doctor? Or,
have you done a Google search?
You're talking to the guy like he's some kind of moron or something.
Hey, I appreciate the advice. Because you know what? Maybe I hadn't. A lot of times, you just got to unplug it and plug it back in.
Sometimes it's the simplest solution.
Or just restart it. Mm-hmm. You don't think about it.
All right, here we go. Let's wrap it up here. Fellas living in New York City, which would be miserable, I think.
Yeah, I wouldn't have any interest in that.
Nope.
But fellas living in miserable New York City might be packing a little more heat than the rest of us before too long. A cosmetic clinic in that neighborhood has gone ahead with a special discount on penis fillers. And the clinic says that this deal is, quote, just in time for gray sweatpant season. I wasn't aware of gray.
Oh, yeah, that's the best.
Here's what the story says. It says that gray sweatpants season. You guys are familiar with this?
Yeah.
Yep.
Gray sweatpants season is a trend where men wear gray sweatpants that show a visible outline of their penis. That's just gross.
It is gross. I've never had a pair of sweatpants.
Oh, really?
Never.
Really? Wow.
I've always wanted Zubas.
Zubas are cool.
Since I was a little kid.
Josh.
Sweatpants are where it's at.
Yeah, I got these new sweatpants, and they got like a butt pocket where you can put your wallet, and then it's got a button so you won't lose your wallet.
Fancy.
I don't get, well, as you heard earlier, I don't get tennis shoes for grown people, and I certainly don't get sweatpants.
What?
I mean, when you hit 70 years old and all you do is just sit on the couch and watch reruns of whatever your favorite, then I get young people and people under the age of 70 wearing sweatpants, I do not get it.
Oh, dude, if sweatpants didn't exist, there'd be like a week out of every single month where I would be extra unhappy.
Just yesterday,
I think I know what you're saying.
Well, to me,
you need some sweatpants,
actually,
man.
I did not mean to include women in that state. It's a dude's thing.
Just yesterday, I got done with work, went home, put on sweatpants, and didn't leave the house. I loved it.
I don't get it.
I do that with shorts. I got some on today. It's going to be damn near 50. Why not? What about track pants? I was thinking about being a track pants guy.
Dude, you got to do the whole suit, though.
They're better than sweatpants. And you know what, Wapple? Sure, when you're at home, more or less, of course, I'm not completely naive to everything. I've noticed that over the last few years, it's like a big trend now.
Mm-hmm.
These dudes are wearing sweatpants that do not fit.
Yeah.
Oh, like the ones that are skinny
too
like
tight?
that?
They're horrible looking.
Yeah, they got to be real tight.
Absolutely horrible looking.
And then they wear the joggers, too, so then by the ankles, it's really tight.
Yes.
It's really tight.
Rudy Gobert was on television last night doing some Timberwolves interview, and he's wearing these sweatpants that were made for a guy that's 5'5". I don't get it.
That's what Mike McCarthy... Wait, no. Why can't McDaniels, yeah. The coach for the Dolphins. Mm-hmm. He wears those types of things. Only poops while punched in. Jesus said he has plenty of gray sweatpants, but none of his show a bulge in the area. What am I doing wrong? You just got to get different ones.
So anyway, here's this joint in New York City. They want to stab men in their peckers with sharp needles and fill it up with some kind of swill to make your dong look better when you're walking around town in your stupid undersized sweatpants. And they got a finance deal happening. Buy now, pay later. They're really pushing this to try to get more guys to show up and, like I said, get stabbed in the penis with a sharp needle. They only have to stab you in your penis with a sharp needle 5 times.
Oh, that's not bad.
And all you got to give them is $3,800 in trade.
Easy.
I've had the needle to the ween once, and I'm good. I'm good the rest of my life.
I can believe
must have been
that.
terrifying.
I can believe that.
Especially because it dwarfed my penis, that thin little needle,
No,
and that was embarrassing.
You're packing heat and you know it. Supposedly, the needles will shoot some kind of sauce up into your gear that'll make you look hung. And I have specifics here, really. Both the shaft and the head of the penis can be stabbed, okay, to make it look bigger. No thanks, you butchers. But here's more information on this. Says here, the treatment, because this, if you're looking to sign up for this, you should know this. The treatment doesn't change the length of your little pee-pee while erect. You're not suddenly going to have a blue ribbon boner.
Okay.
What it does...
I got a blue ribbon at the Boner Awards.
What it does is it prevents full retraction so you look longer while not aroused.
That'd be sweet at the gym, or, well, I guess I don't walk around naked, but...
So that's where they're going with this. You buy those stupid, trendy, tight sweatpants that young men are making fools out of themselves by wearing around town for the last couple of years. You buy those little gray sweatpants, you get this procedure, and then when you're walking around town, that store-bought Johnson is just knocking around. But when you get a bone ski, your girlfriend's still going to go, that's it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not going to do anything for the boner. But there's a dark side to all this, as you know.
Of course.
That's what keeps me away from something like this. Well, that and the insane cost.
We've heard stories before where when these damn procedures go sideways, it can pretty much be curtains for your acorn. Someone commented on this story and said, look, a cheap pair of socks and a carrot is much cheaper and safer. But I think last time we had a conversation about this stuff, Josh, we both agreed that if it was 100% foolproof, nothing could go wrong.
Yeah, and a regular guy could afford it.
And a regular guy could afford it.
Heck yeah, I'd do it.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
But there's no way knowing all the dark side stories to these types of things.
Yeah, I wouldn't risk it. You know, it's funny you used the word butcher. That was the last name of the doctor that injected my little wiener.
That's awesome.
That's not good.
And what's funny is when they told me, by the way, awesome guy, hilarious. I loved this guy. And when they told me, they're like, yeah, you're going to be seeing Dr. Butcher. They're like, yeah, we know.
Yeah.
We
heard the jokes.
We get it. They cut me off before, I wasn't even going to say anything. Obviously, he's Dr. But yeah, they cut me off before I could go anywhere with it.
Did you say anything to him about it?
No.
Oh, I would have had to.
I'm sure he's heard that before.
True.
Dr. Butcher.
I did ask him if he tried any Metamucil or Miralax.
Good Lord.
Wapple, you're a caring guy, and I appreciate it.
Dr. Butcher's almost as frightening as Frau Blucher.
Sports on the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Who is this guy he's talking to? Okay, look, whatever you need, I got you. I'll take care of it, all right?
Come on, Pay, that's his agent. Come on, Tommy DeVito's agent.
What's in the bag? I want to know what's in the bag.
Some cutlets.
It looks like Johnny Fontaine from The Godfather.
Been obviously pretty crazy. Definitely there's been a lot of people coming out that I haven't heard from in a while. But like you said, what you see is what you get. I mean, this wasn't no costume. That's my wife. Yeah. My first life, I was from the 20s though.
When your man throws a bomb but still is with his mom, that's DeVito. When he has quite the arm and wolfs down chicken parm, that's DeVito.
Hey! Oh! Tommy Cutlets! Tommy Cutlets and his agent over there.
They're like superstars lately.
Look at him.
I'm looking at him.
Look away.
Okay.
You look away from Tommy Cutlets.
All right, now
Don't
what?
do it. Look at me. All right, now look away.
I don't have the neck dexterity to keep doing it.
Everyone's all over Tommy Cutlets and his agent. They can't get enough. They're on television everywhere. I wonder how long before we're burned out on that bit.
I don't know.
2 days ago.
Oh, really? You're already?
Yeah.
I hope the kid.
Yesterday, the Sean Stellato, I'm not sure you pronounce his name.
That's the agent?
The agent,
oh,
yeah.
Okay.
He's been doing some interviews. He seems like a good guy. And he's blown away by this, and he has to tell people, "I'm not a character. I'm not a cartoon. This is me. This is
come
who I
on,
am."
look at the way he dresses.
He looks like a character.
Yeah, he looks like a character. I'm not burned out on this at all, but I love mob movies and stuff like that.
Yeah, me too.
I love this bit. I'm on board with Tommy Cutlets. I hope he keeps winning ball games.
Yeah, me too. And Tommy Cutlets seems like a good kid.
Who's that? Tommy Cutlets?
Tommy Cutlets.
Way over there?
Yeah.
I got to read this text I received from Nordy Jesus. I have no idea what motivated this text message from Nordy Jesus. This is simply what he texted me a few minutes ago. Tell Wapple to shut his stoner city boy ass up before I rectally feed him these size 13 full grain cowhides.
Whoa. He's a poet.
And I texted him back. I said, "This is the funniest thing I've read all day." All right.
He's always good for a
Must
good
have been
text.
the cowboy boot comment.
I'm guessing, yeah.
You said you can only wear cowboy boots to weddings.
Yeah.
Size 13 full grain cowhides, dude. He's going to rectally feed them to you.
Yeah, it was like talking about us. It's like when Ross wore the work boots in here.
Well, that's what I was saying.
What are we talking about?
Oh, sorry. When that one guy who used to work here wore work boots.
And
has never worked a hard labor job in his life.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
no
you're-
use for them at all.
You're trying to explain where Nordy Jesus' comment came from?
No, I'm just trying to explain myself more about like the cowboy
like
boots.
right,
weddings.
whether or not one of us could pull off a
Yeah.
certain thing. My fear is I couldn't pull off work boots. I have had jobs where it would make sense. I landscaped for many, many years, but I don't know if I could pull them off now. Cowboy boots, I was wondering. Probably not, huh? You got to be a little more, what do they call that?
Tough.
Manly?
Manly.
You could pull any damn thing off. Okay, I've already taken up way too much friggin' time. Coming up in about a half hour, Randy Shaver's going to jump in. We'll talk about Draymond Green. We'll talk about that old bastard Bill Belichick. The Pigs have a game tonight. The Wolves have a game. Josh's news coming up next.
Half-assed morning show.
They're loud, they lose control, they do their little circus act. They're a nuisance.
93X.
Grace here, customer service rep at Standard Heating. I'm proud to work for a company that understands and takes care of our fellow Minnesotans. Our weather here can be a little unpredictable and even extreme. That's why we've been here for 93 years and counting, to keep our community safe and comfortable.
On behalf of myself and Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, we would like to wish you a very happy holidays. And don't forget, Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is open 24/7 for emergency services to make sure you stay warm this holiday season. Go to standardheating.com today.
For the real story behind some of wrestling's biggest moments, it's Something to Wrestle with Bruce Pritchard and Conrad Thompson, too.
1995, when WCW announces they're going to be live and head-to-head with Monday Night Raw, feels like this would have been something Vince would have kind of laughed off.
No, we did not like them moving to Monday nights. There were a lot of hotels. They all carried CNN, TBS, and TNT. Vince was convinced that Ted Turner had deviously done this deal to get in the hotels and keep us out.
Something to Wrestle, wherever you listen.
Half-assed morning show. 93X.
No, not acceptable. Not with children, not today, day and age. Absolutely not.
You have to be careful. If you're a cop, you should be trained on how to carry your gun.
Rather irresponsible, I would say.
Yeah.
Boy, do I feel sorry for this guy. An off-duty New York cop inadvertently left a gun behind in the bathroom of his child's high school this week after presumably, what I'd imagine, taking a dump.
Oh, no.
The officer, also a local Board of Education member, accidentally left his off-duty firearm in the bathroom at the Eastport South Manor Junior and Senior High School, where he was attending a meeting Monday night. In a statement, the superintendent of schools said upon a routine school cleaning, a member of our custodial crew found a handgun in a lavatory and immediately notified building security. During the procedure, which only lasted about 15 minutes, but the procedure meaning the lockdown, the security team closed off the bathroom. No one was allowed in the area. The superintendent went on to say that it was quickly determined the weapon belonged to an off-duty police officer who was in the building for the meeting. The off-duty officer returned to the restroom area and secured his missing gun. The Suffolk County Police Department said the incident is being investigated by Internal Affairs.
That's pretty embarrassing.
Yeah, that sucks. Especially of all places to leave it behind.
Yep. Must have been a real rumbler.
Yeah, I think so. Several Virginia elementary school students needed medical attention Tuesday after eating gummy bears laced with what authorities said was friggin' fentanyl. You don't hear that too much. The sheriff's office said 7 kids at Central Elementary School in Amherst, Virginia, experienced a reaction to ingesting gummy bears while at school. The candies were tested, but it was actually the sandwich bag itself which came back positive for the drug. Officials believe the contamination occurred either at home or on the way to school, and according to the school superintendent's office, they confirmed the bag was brought from home by a student. 5 of the students had to receive medical attention. All of the children have fully recovered, and all the parents indicate that they're doing well.
We'll start with saying our schools are safe and our students are safe. I think that's the main thing to say right now. The students involved in this incident, they returned home last night, and Amherst County Public Schools is a safe environment for our students.
2 people have been arrested in connection with that incident.
Where'd the kid get the fentanyl from, his folks?
Sounds that way, yeah.
They must be real winners.
Yep. A teacher at a California daycare facility allegedly applied mood-calming stickers known as Zen patches on preschoolers without the parents' consent, and they're ticked off.
We were surprised and really upset. They were being put on every single child on this classroom.
Parents also became suspicious when their children began to display behavioral changes and disruptions in their sleeping patterns at home. Then the news broke when a mother of one of the preschoolers showed up unannounced at the school and saw the patches. The parents expressed their dismay about the situation, reporting stickers were placed on every child in the classroom, then removed before the students were dismissed for the day. The teacher allegedly used mood-calming patches to control the children and make them sleepy, and then on purpose hid that from their parents. A local physician said there are plenty of potential risks associated with applying any type of substance to children. He emphasized they could have suffered adverse effects, while also highlighting the lack of formal regulation for those types of products.
Essential oils can cause allergic reactions, and their effects are not uniformly regulated or standardized by anyone. So there is a risk with that in itself.
The school said after an internal investigation, the employee who provided the stickers has been fired. Local media is reporting law enforcement may also get involved.
That's one mellow group of second graders you got there, you know?
Yeah. Boy, it's an easy day.
Yeah.
Got through a lot of Candy Crush today. Kids slept right through it. A Florida Postal Service worker is facing a robbery charge after a confrontation with a customer was caught on camera over the weekend. 39-year-old Chantel Ford, a clerk at a post office in Miami, was arrested Saturday for robbery by something called, I'd never heard of this, sudden snatching. The alleged victim, Miguel Bravo, said the incident began when Ford allegedly made what he described as racist remarks to another customer.
To come to the post office and have to send in mail and be subjected to hate and discrimination, no one deserves that.
He confronted Ford and began filming that altercation.
Let me speak to your manager.
I called him for you already. You can wait right
Can you please make sure we're going to file a formal complaint?
I don't care what you do, sir. I don't give a Now take that to the news. I don't care.
Yeah, she doesn't give one, and then she even upped it and said she doesn't give 2. From there, Bravo's cell phone video shows the worker smacking the phone right from his hand.
She stole my phone. She ran into the back, attempted to dismantle and break my property.
Local media said Bravo was wearing a brace on his hand due to an injury he suffered during that interaction.
Well, I hope he's okay.
Me too. Must have been something. Last week, an Ogilvie woman was sentenced in connection with assaulting multiple people in October of last year. October 8th, 2022, officers from Waite Park Police were called to a building for a report of a person with a knife. Court records show officers found the 34-year-old woman chasing a man and yelling at him. As they tried to handcuff her, she started yelling racist comments and told 2 officers multiple times she would kill them.
What?
She then kicked one of the cops in the knee so hard the officer was knocked backward. According to the complaint, people inside told them the woman yelled racist comments at a man walking past and threw a jar of salsa at him, hitting him in the back. Then she began to chase him. Apparently, she also went inside and threatened more people, knocked over a child sitting on the floor, yelled racist comments, and threw pieces of pizza at people inside. After she left, they locked the door, but she returned, this time pounding on the door. The 34-year-old received a 364-day sentence, which will be stayed for 2 years.
Well, what the hell was bothering her?
I don't know. I guess she didn't like folks that didn't look like her, or what? There's a lot of food products around, though. A ticked-off Bronx woman was hit with arson charges Tuesday after allegedly trying to torch a bar following some sort of argument with staffers. The 32-year-old was at the Drake Main Cafe in New Rochelle Monday night when she got into a heated dispute with workers. She left in a huff and allegedly returned about 12:45 a.m. Tuesday with a gas can. That's not good. She poured the fuel on the outside walls and the entrance of the watering hole before lighting it on fire. Cops said she fled the scene after allegedly setting the blaze, but was nabbed nearby trying to get into an Uber. Police said the bar's owner was able to snuff out the flames with a fire extinguisher, and luckily, no one was hurt.
Yeah, sometimes the only option is to show up with a gas can. You know what I mean?
At 12:45 in the morning.
Yeah.
A Texas woman being taken to Austin's airport on Sunday is accused of stealing an Uber driver's vehicle because they were driving too slow. Just before 12:30 a.m. Sunday, an Uber driver picked up the 27-year-old from a hotel to take her to the airport. While en route, the Uber driver said she appeared to be upset about how long it was taking to get there. She was running late for her plane. She wanted him to speed, and he said no. Then she proceeded to grab the driver's phone. She threw it out the window, prompting him to stop and retrieve it from the side of the road. While outside the car, though, the impatient woman took control of the vehicle and drove away, leaving the Uber driver stranded. Officers were notified and able to locate the driver's car abandoned in front of a terminal at the airport and before the woman could board the plane. According to the arrest report, while being questioned, she claimed she and the Uber driver were arguing over how long the drive was going to take. She said to the driver, "I need to get to the airport, so I'm going to take your car and drop it off at Southwest Airlines." But that didn't help explain why she also stole the Uber driver's wallet and used his credit card several times at stores in the airport. Ultimately, she missed her flight, but she was taken to jail.
She sounds like she's wound pretty tight.
Yeah. You got to plan a little bit ahead, you know. A prisoner in the UK who had secret phone sex with a guard threatened jail staff after she was fired. He was enraged and probably blue-balled, so he was too pissed when he couldn't talk to her anymore. 23-year-old Ruth Schmilo. Hubba.
Ooh, she's really?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Ruth Schmilo.
Yes.
That's the, I know it's not fair to judge someone by their name, but that's the last name that I thought would incite a hubba hubba.
No, that's a hubba hubba.
Sounds like a gal that, a lunch lady from my grade school days,
She's on trial, accused of having a 5-month relationship with a, quote, manipulative drug dealer named Harry Pullen? Come on, you're kidding me.
No, come on, that ain't right.
Pullen, who's 24, was described as a dominating character within the prison system and was a known member of an organized crime group. Jurors were told Tuesday Schmilo was fired following concerns over her relationship with inmates. Dan Heyman, head of security, said that as Schmilo had been warned about professional boundaries months earlier. She claimed Pullen threatened to harm another inmate if she stopped taking his calls, so she continued talking dirty to him over the phone. She told police to protect the other inmates, she kept him in locked cells all day to keep him away from Pullen. After she was fired, prison officials say Pullen's demeanor and conduct went downhill, with him threatening staff. As for her part, Schmilo denied the charges of misconduct in public office.
There's no way she's a prison guard.
I know, right?
Yeah, like maybe in a porn.
Yeah. Let's be real here.
Would anyone like to help Daddy out?
Yes, let me see if I can find...
Give me a Schmilo by sending me some... I don't know where I'm going with
Her
that.
name doesn't do her justice.
No.
Ruth Schmilo.
She's kind of naughty.
There's
a lot
one
of the photos,
picture.
she's flicking off the camera.
Yeah.
Jesus criminy, yeah. She looks like Barbie Benton for you older people. She looks a lot like Barbie Benton.
The trial continues this week.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, like you're saying there, Ashley, not quite what you'd expect.
No,
in a prison guard.
I'd be psyched if I was in prison there.
You'd commit a felony by 3 p.m.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I'm going to need another strip search by her. Bring Ruth.
She's pretty hot.
She's attractive. Zac Efron will talk with Jimmy Kimmel tonight about The Iron Claw, his new movie about the Von Erich family of professional wrestlers. It's being released tomorrow. Queens of the Stone Age are Kimmel's musical guest.
Being released tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
I thought
I'm sorry, the 22nd. I had that wrong.
Yes, yes.
My bad.
That's all right.
I apologize.
It's just Wapple and I are pretty pumped about this.
Yeah.
Oh, I know it's the 22nd.
I would, yeah, for whatever reason.
Reviews too.
Yeah, it is. Mm-hmm. For whatever reason, I was thinking we were further ahead than we are.
I wish we were.
You guys know that I played Jimmy Hart in this movie, right?
Oh, I'm excited.
Congrats.
Spoiler alert. Yeah, no, I didn't realize that. Yeah, on the 22nd is when that comes out. I apologize. 1,000 apologies. Thursday Night Football on Amazon Prime features the Raiders hosting the Chargers in Vegas. AC/DC bassist Cliff Williams, 74, and that's 93X News.
Care 11's Randy Shaver.
On the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Mother Nature is already proving to be a major player in Week 14.
Rain and snow wreaking havoc across the Midwest.
This is the up-to-the-minute information we have on what's going on in Minnesota. The fiberglass roof at the Metrodome has collapsed.
This was next level. This was dialed up. Cars on the side of the road. I mean, it was just kind of chaos.
Never did you think that the game would be canceled because of a blizzard. I mean, you're in a dome, right? So weather's never even in the forecast of the game plan.
Because travel was so difficult, we did not have the people we wanted in the building to go up top. So we pulled everybody from the roof because we were unable to remove snow anymore.
We had an idea that something bad could happen.
Even if it's just a leak, it's still a story with a game being played the next day.
It just literally exploded.
Yeah, Randy Shaver, this week marks the 13th anniversary of one of the more hilarious moments in Minnesota sports history. It was December 12th, so it was a couple days ago in 2010 when the old Metrodome gave way.
That was awesome.
That was a hell of a lot of fun.
I was covering the team as a reporter at that time, so my job day to day was covering the Vikings and going to games, obviously, and my roommate at the time woke me up and goes, I don't think you're covering a football game tomorrow.
No, hell no.
Did you end up going to Detroit? Isn't that where they moved the game?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You did? Yeah. That was crazy.
That was a lot of fun.
It was such a bizarre season, too, because that was the Favre's second season, the one that was not nearly as good as 2009. Childers gets fired. They trade for Randy Moss. They cut Randy Moss. The dome collapsed. Percy Harvin threw a weight at Brad Childers at one point.
Brad Childers.
Everything that could happen, hilarious happened, did happen that season.
Our old friend of the show, Chris Cluey, punter, he had mentioned he was going to write a book someday called The Day the Roof Collapsed, and kind of talking about that season and all the crazy things. He hasn't done it yet.
No, I would love to read that, though.
He said he's got a lot of inside stories that would be good.
He does.
Now they play in the new Metrodome.
They sure do.
Is Randy there?
I like the new Metrodome.
You do?
Much better than the old Metrodome.
Oh, yeah, it's better than the old Metrodome.
Seen a couple of monster jams there.
But they're both, we're all in agreement that they're both just a Metrodome.
Well, yeah, I guess. Technically, yes.
There's an old one and there's a new one.
Yeah. I like the new one better.
13 years ago this week was when that sumbitch just couldn't hang on to that snow anymore. He just burped it all over the field.
Yeah.
And the video of that poor bastard on a golf cart getting the hell out of there before he gets killed.
What if that would have happened? So say, the doors had opened. It's, 11:30, half hour till kickoff, and the roof collapsed then when everybody was inside the dome.
Oh, that would have been awful.
That would have been terrible.
I was there the night that the roof tore. It was a stormy summer night when the Twins, I believe, were playing the Angels. And the roof tore over the upper deck in right field and started, raining inside. Started leaking and raining inside. And there wasn't that many people there that night, obviously, because baseball in the summertime indoors, just not the place to be. But I can remember the speakers shaking, swaying back and forth because the weather was so bad outside.
Dude.
Yeah, it was kind of a scary night.
Yeah, that must be eerie as hell.
Let's say that the dome, the old Metrodome, would have given way when the joint was packed. And it played out exactly the way it did on the video that we all watch. When the snow
came in, yeah.
There would have been, if depending on where the players were on the field.
Yes.
Some of the players might have been mangled.
Oh, could have been buried. Could have been an avalanche
the crowd,
inside.
Yeah, the crowd would have survived.
Crowd would have been okay.
Might have been some panicked people falling down the stairs and stepping on each other's hands and whatnot, but
yeah, I mean, when you see something like that happen, you think the whole thing's going to rip all the way across.
It's funny, Randy Shaver, that we have similar stories. I really thought that we were dead at the Metrodome, the old Metrodome. My dad and I went to go see a game many years ago. I'm fairly certain they were playing the Seattle Seahawks. Maybe someone remembers this. So this was, 2000, I'm going to guess like 7, 8, somewhere in that neighborhood. And it was a brutally windy day where just walking from your car to that godforsaken ballpark was difficult to do. The wind was just humming. And at one point during the game, those massive speakers, like you were saying, Randy, began to sway.
Yeah.
The wind that was cutting over the top of that ballpark caused those speakers to sway. And I have no clue what the weight, what we're talking weight-wise with those speaker systems.
Right.
I have a ton, I don't know. I'm not good at estimating those. But the momentum then caused all of them to, it was beyond a sway to where it was like watching a damn, an amusement park ride.
Right.
And the crowd now begins to notice. And there's people screaming because it really looked like the whole works. The referees started to notice. Now, they never called off the game, but you could see the players and the referees going, should we be here right now?
Right.
I don't know. If anyone was at that game, holler at me, because everybody in the ballpark noticed. It looked like the roof was just going to be, the whole works was going to come down on top of us. My dad, even joking around, turned to me and said, I don't think we're going to make it out of here. And the lady in front of us, who was quite worried, she said, ah! That scared her to hear my dad say that. And after a while, it just kind of calmed itself down. But that was a surreal scene. Right. What a pile of garbage that place was. Of course, don't get me wrong. We had a lot of laughs in that ballpark. A lot of laughs.
It was an adventure leaving that thing where you get blown across the street.
Oh, yeah. A lot of great memories in that place. We talk about the roof a lot, but one of the big changes was actually the turf of that facility, because when they first built it, when they were first in there, and I think of the fall of 1983.
Sure.
It was like playing on cement.
Yeah.
There's no give to that at all.
No.
It was like somebody put a rug on cement, and that's what those guys played on. And the burns and it was gross.
Yeah.
The things that those players went through. And as time went on and the technology changed and it did get better, but man, at the very beginning, it was pretty bad.
Not just the beginning. In 2003, Randy, I played. Well, my team played a state tournament game at the Dome. And
what sport?
It's football. And that was just straight up carpet. The rug burns that some of my teammates had were just insane.
Yeah, it was bad. And it obviously just wasn't here at the Metrodome. It was at any facility, any professional football stadium that had artificial turf at the time. It's not what we know.
No. In the early 80s, it was a totally different setup. And just as a spectator, the worst part was how unnaturally the ball would bounce. That's what drove me crazy. This is so unnatural. If you hit a double that had a little bit of air underneath it, it would bounce sometimes from a long distance away. It would bounce over the fence.
Yeah.
It would bounce over a player's head. It was like a damn racquetball. It was so dumb.
Well,
that's why I always thought it was so friggin' dumb. For how many years? Not that I get too wound up about soccer. Remember, I am an American. Not that I get wound up about soccer, but I thought it was so beyond stupid that every year the high school soccer championship game, the state championship game, was played at the Metrodome. Because I went to watch those games because Wayzata played in a couple soccer championships when I was in high school. I had buddies that were on the team. The ball never settled down the entire game. This is the championship game, the most meaningful game of the year, and you're putting these kids in a situation where they're playing soccer in a way that they've never had to play the game before.
Yeah, but Nick, the alternative with the season being as late as it is for soccer is that you're playing the state championship in late October, early November, maybe even mid-November. The weather outside was unpredictable and usually not very good. I can remember state championship games being played at the old Milky Field in Robbinsdale. In snow, they had to shovel the snow.
Well, but at least it's
field.
grass, Randy.
No, I get that, but I would argue that a lot of those players who played in the state championship were very grateful and happy that they were playing.
Well, I'm sure
the state title games indoors.
I don't know.
Opposed to having to play them outside.
We would sit and watch those games, and it was okay. Here we go, the championship game, and then someone would kick the ball, and it would be this for an hour and a half. Boom, boom, just the ball bouncing uncontrollably.
Yeah, there's a generation of Minnesota sports fans, high school fans, baseball fans in Minnesota, who don't know all the nuances of what the Metrodome meant to those sports. But for the Twins in baseball, obviously the roof was such a big talking point that you couldn't see the ball once it left the bat.
Right.
You lost it in the roof. I mean, Billy Martin hated the frickin' place. And then the other thing was, it was built for football, right? Mm-hmm. So all the seats pointed towards midfield, or pointed straight ahead. It was not built for baseball. So you would be sitting in a seat down the lines at first base, third base, and you'd have to turn your body in the seat to watch baseball because the seat's not pointing to home plate.
It was also built so where only 12 grown men could urinate at once.
That's true.
Despite there being 35,000 grown men in the ballpark.
Yeah, and like 35 in line outside because the bathroom's not big enough.
Those troughs got packed.
I took a leak in a guy's back pocket one game. I just said, forget it. I'm going to use his back pocket. All right, there's a couple of big fat-ass stories going around that everybody's going to be talking about today. I'm not sure which one of them to start with, so I guess I'll just go with the one that broke first. Cubby handed this to me yesterday. We didn't have time to get to it, but the New England Patriots have reportedly already decided to move on from Bill Belichick for next football season. This pleases me.
Yeah, I figured you'd like that.
This pleases me.
How many moving boxes do you think he's going to need to buy for all those sleeveless hoodies? He's got a big collection, it seems like.
That's fun right there, Randy Shaver. No more Bill Belichick on the sideline for the New England Patriots.
He'll be on the sideline somewhere, though.
Well, of course he will.
Panthers?
Yeah. He may take a break, though, too.
Go ahead.
It may be a situation where the guy takes a break.
The guy's just such a prick.
Yeah. He's a very successful prick.
Well,
do you have an understanding that Robert will not ask you to be back next year?
Yeah, getting ready for Kansas City. That's what I'm doing.
Bill, while understanding that you're getting ready for Kansas City, have you and Robert discussed your future beyond this season?
Getting ready for Kansas City.
He actually did that a couple more times. The reason I didn't include him is the audio was so poor.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was his move.
You think he feels like a jackass because he wasn't able to succeed without the lunatic?
I'm sure that's got to bother him.
It's got to be more than
that. Bothers the hell out of him, doesn't it?
It does.
That the lunatic took a walk and now he sucks.
I think the fall of the Patriots is more, though, than just the quarterback position.
Oh, yeah? Like who? Like what?
I just think that the overall talent level of that team has gone down quite a bit.
And now they're talking about a former Patriots player as the top candidate to take Belichick's job. It's Gronkowski.
Oh,
yep.
No. They are not.
You've already announced it.
They already announced
it. No, they haven't announced
it. All of his brothers are going to be assistant coaches, and they're going to have energy drinks and weight benches on the sideline and surfboards.
Party buses from the hotel to the stadium.
Babes in bikinis and
every audible is going to be called D's Nuts.
Right.
Change the play at the line. It's going to be yelling D's Nuts.
It's some guy named, it doesn't matter. I lost his name.
Mayo.
Gerard Mayo.
Yeah.
Who cares? It's not the lunatic. But I do have some Rob Gronkowski news. He's hosting a college football bowl game in a couple of weeks. When is this? December 16th. Oh, Christ, that's in 2 days. Okay. I forgot how close we are to college bowl season. We told you about this before. The, what do they call it? The L.A. Bowl? Yeah, the L.A. Bowl. It used to be a Jimmy Kimmel thing, but now stupid Rob Gronkowski is taking it over.
Yep.
So he's the host of the game. And it sounds like a pretty good game. I mean, that's the thing about this LA Bowl that I remember reading an article a couple of weeks ago is it's only been around for a few years and everyone thinks it's, 100% a joke because Jimmy Kimmel was involved. But they've actually been pretty good games.
Wasn't it like his idea, not just involved? I thought he was the reason it happened or something like that.
Jimmy Kimmel?
I think it was.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it started as a bit and then became a thing.
This year, it's going to be UCLA against Boise State. I mean, that's probably going to be a pretty good. Those a couple of teams that know how to play football.
Yep.
Rob Gronkowski will be singing the national anthem as well.
I'm singing the national anthem, but I'm going to have some help with the New Direction Veterans Choir. They're going to be there with me, so they're kind of like I'm the quarterback and I have the best offensive line in front of me.
Oh man. He sings Party Rock Anthem instead.
I bet his mic's not going to be on.
No.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right,
I hope
Josh.
not.
His mic won't be on. That's it. He's got help, he said, from a choir, a veterans choir. Yeah, you're right. They're not going to turn his mic on.
No, or it'll be very, very low.
Jackal did that to me once. Jackal. Randy Shaver, rock me, roll me, jackal me off. You're familiar with the...
I am not. No, thank goodness.
The chainsaw song? Oh, I love the chainsaw song, whatever they call it. Was it just called the chainsaw song?
I think it was.
Forgot what it was called, but they're such a nice group of guys, weren't they, Josh?
Definitely.
Jackal had a nice run in the early 90s in the hard rock scene. They had I Stand Alone and the chainsaw song, When Will It Rain? The Lumberjack, thank you. What was that other one? I see the sun shining down on me. The great group of guys, Jesse James Dupree, the lead singer. So we had a nice relationship with Jackal here at the radio station for many years. And one particular holiday show, I think it was a 93X holiday show, Jesse James Dupree and the rest of the band invited me and one of my ex-radio partners to get up on stage and sing with them during one of their songs called, I just said it out loud, I think. The song they sang with Brian Johnson, Locked and Loaded?
Locked and Loaded.
Locked and Loaded. So they said, you and your buddy, your radio partner, get up on stage with us in front of the crowd and you can be backup singers to the song. Locked and Loaded. You didn't even have to be a very good singer to sing that chorus. So my radio partner and I were pretty pumped. And we got up on stage, they brought us out, and they begin the song, and they get to the chorus. We had our own microphones sitting right there, and the crowd was having a good time. And we belted out one chorus, Locked and Loaded. I mean, we were really giving her hell. And as soon as we got done with the line, my radio partner turned to me and he said, the mics aren't on, are they? Or, I'm sorry, he said, our mic isn't on, is it? And I said, no. But we still kept going.
That's fun.
They knew better than to, I don't know how, I'm surprised it took so long for it to dawn on me that they wouldn't turn our microphone on. But we still had a good time. All right, we'll get to the other big story here in just a minute, but how about this? The AFC and NFC Offensive Players of the Week are the MILF Man and Tommy Cutlets.
Yeah.
Just like we all expected at the start of the season.
Those two guys. I mean, the MILF Man, talk about some redemption there, right? Had a great,
good for him.
At least for 1 week. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, the week prior, everyone's making fun of him because there's a rumor he doesn't even want to play. He's apprehensive to get out there. What a performance.
Good for those guys. I was reading USA Today. I didn't know they did this bit all year long, but I guess they do. They post NFL quarterback rankings. And the news here is that the MILF Man is no longer the league's worst-rated starting quarterback. He's had such a great week. I want him to back it up.
Who did he pass?
Like the older ladies are backing it up on the MILF Man.
Oh, yeah,
Who did he pass?
Yeah, like who's last now?
Well, right now, last Wapple is Aiden O'Connell from the Los Angeles Vegas Raiders.
Okay.
Yeah, we saw that first.
Yeah, makes
Invaders.
sense.
The Jets have the Dolphins on Sunday, though, and I imagine the Dolphins are probably pretty upset about what happened to them on Monday night.
I bet you're right.
I saw some highlights of the MILF Man's game last week against Houston, and I agree with this statement from USA Today. Oh, no, pardon me. This was a tweet that I read. He had this incredible throw in the game, the MILF man, in the game against Houston, scrambling, throwing across his body, pinpoint accuracy. It was a great throw. I saw a tweet and that I agreed with. It said, if Patrick Mahomes made that throw, Chris Collinsworth would have to change his damn drawers.
There is an infatuation.
Oh, my gosh.
You're not kidding. The number 1 rated quarterback here in USA Today's weekly quarterback rankings or ratings is that Brock Purdy character who plays quarterback for San Francisco. All right. Oh, before we get to the other big story, I thought you guys would get a kick out of this. Randy Shaver, now, we just talked about the bowl season is underway for college football.
Yep.
So that means recruiters are already on the road, hitting up high school kids to try to recruit them to come play ball.
Well, they've been recruiting them for a while. I think the first signing day is next week or this week, or something like that.
Well, then I am sorry. I was wrong. At any rate, this recruiter for Ohio State went to Cleveland to recruit a high school kid, and he got carjacked in the kid's high school parking lot.
Oh, no. Gosh darn it.
Wow.
Not a good look.
Well, maybe that'll give him, want to get the kid out of there more.
And one of the carjackers was the kid he was there to recruit.
That's
I'm
not
kidding.
Oh.
I'm kidding. He's a good kid.
Stop it.
But it was kids. I mean, like 15 to 18.
Yeah.
I mean, just like it is everywhere, I guess, with these carjackings.
I'm going to stop by the high school and check on this kid. I hear he's a pretty good athlete. Take my wallet. Oh, sorry. They carjacked his ass. Wow. That sucks.
I thought Cleveland kind of lost that reputation as a place you wouldn't be comfortable in.
Oh, yeah?
Maybe they're trying to bring it back.
They're trying to kick it old school.
So here we go, Randy Shaver. The NBA has seen enough of that little kid, Draymond Green.
Yeah, we'll see how serious they are, but yes.
Well, yeah, and I'm not going to start touching myself just yet. Yeah. But he has been suspended indefinitely. There's conversation of how he's going to have to sit and talk to David Stern. Who the hell's the
Adam Silver?
Adam Silver. He's going to have to earn his way back. That's the conversation right now. Indefinite suspension for Draymond Green. We'll see where it goes.
I think there's a lot of skepticism about all this.
Well, of course there is. He's a star player for the Golden State Warriors. Like I said, if he was a mid-range player, a guy that...
he wouldn't even be out there.
No. No. He would have been gone a long time ago. He probably would have been gone after punching that dude in the face that was on his own team. He would have been gone then.
Because the organization would not have put up with it. But because
right.
He is who he is and what he means to the team, they are fighting as hard as they can to figure out a way to get this guy to be an important part of their team, but also be a good person too. I mean, it's such a mess, and he's a very controversial figure. There's just no doubt about it, and I think he revels in that. I think a lot of it is his own doing.
Yes.
Of the reputation he thinks he needs to uphold.
Yeah.
I don't. If he really wanted to be different, he could be that, but he's now earned this reputation of being this guy that's unpredictable and,
he likes the tough guy, bad guy gimmick.
Yep. And I think that's going to be, to me, from the outside looking in, that's going to be the hardest thing for him to have to give up is who he's become supposedly on the court.
Oh, I think that's part of it. Sure, he likes that gimmick, that bad boy gimmick, but also I think the guy's got some bad wiring.
I don't disagree. I think he does. I think a lot of this also falls on the organization. How much do you continue to put up with?
Right.
I mean, this guy's hurting your club and has done that over and over. I mean, how many chances do you give a person in a situation, and what's the message that it sends to everybody else when you continue to coddle a guy that hurts your program?
But this is the right move. The dude needs an ego check and a conversation with a counselor or something.
Definitely could use that.
The dude that he smacked upside the head the other night, that Yusuf Nurkic from the Phoenix Suns, was quoted as saying, "I think this dude needs help."
What's going on with him? I don't know. Personally, I feel like that brother needed help. I'm glad he not try to choke me, but at the same time, it has nothing to do with basketball, man. I'm just out there trying to play basketball, you know.
I think I followed what he said.
Hard to understand that.
He said he needs help, and I'm glad he didn't choke me, he said. Which still, I'll remember that. I mean, I am thankful for one Draymond Green meltdown, and that was when he started to choke Rudy Gobert. I will remember that to the day that I die. That was so much. That was so much fun. Again, for the fifth or sixth time, the way Rudy Gobert sold that was
sold it
comedy gold.
Yes.
He's reaching out at nothing.
Help me, help.
That was just beautiful.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see where it goes. That's the word right now.
I'm very, very skeptical about this whole thing. Is it just going to be a talking to when you find the guy and then you let him back? I mean,
right. They're going to wait till it dies down a little bit, then he'll just be back all of a sudden.
There's got to be an end point where it's said to him, if you do this one more time, you are suspended for a season or something like that. Some sort of a concrete, answer, deadline, ultimatum, that if this happens again, regardless of what it looks like, you're done.
I think they're going to tell him. I really honestly think they're going to tell him if you do it again, you're done for good.
Well, that would that would probably be the only way he stops doing what he's doing.
I saw a funny tweet on this. It says a basketball fan says, "This isn't how I want to remember Draymond. I want to remember the good times, like when he got suspended for punching LeBron in the nuts."
That was a good tweet.
Did you see all this goofiness at the Milwaukee Bucks Indiana Pacers game last night?
I didn't see it when it was happening last night. I was obviously read about it this morning.
This was I've never seen anything like this before.
Over a game ball. I've never seen that before.
No.
Either.
Can you confirm that you have the game ball from tonight?
I have no idea. I'm not going to lie. I really don't know. I don't know. I have a ball, but I don't know if it's a game ball. It doesn't feel like the game ball to me. It feels like a brand new ball. The ball that I have, which I'll take and I'll give it to my mom for sure, but I don't know if it's actually the game ball.
You thought they had the game ball, that's why you ran after them in the tunnel?
I knew they had the game ball. I didn't think they had the game ball. I knew they had the ball.
It's Giannis right there.
Yeah.
So he dumps a career high and a Bucks record 64 points on the Indiana Pacers last night. But at the end of the game, the broadcast catches Giannis sprinting towards the Pacers locker room, and there's a security guard trying to restrain him, and he runs right past the security guard. He was going to get the game ball. The Pacers, in Giannis's side of the story, is the Pacers took the game ball, and he thinks it belongs to him because he had this record-setting night.
So the conversation, though, I mean, there's other twists to this story, too.
Well, sure. Where are you going with this?
Well, there's a Pacers player who scored his first points in the NBA last night.
Right.
And that's why the Pacers kept the basketball for that player. And then Giannis comes out and says, no, I didn't want the ball for me. I wanted it for Lillard, who made his, 24th 100 three-pointer and passed Kyle Korver for fifth place in NBA history in three-point shooting. I wanted the ball for him. There are two game balls, supposedly, that are used during the game, where both of them went. One of them for sure went with Indiana for this player.
Right. Guy scored his first career points.
That's right. And so that's where the confusion happened, is that Indiana wasn't trying to keep it away from Giannis.
Right.
They were actually keeping it for this player.
Right.
What happened after the game was unfortunate. There was a misunderstanding about the game ball. It was Oscar Tshiebwe's first official NBA point, so we always get the game ball. We were not thinking about Giannis's franchise record, so we grabbed the ball, and a couple of minutes later, several of their players ended up in our hallway. I don't think any punches were landed, but my general manager got elbowed in the ribs. Unfortunate situation. Didn't need to escalate to that.
That's Pacers coach Jim Carrey. I mean, Rick Carlisle. Yeah, so this was just bizarre.
Yeah.
You know, like you were saying, like Carlisle was saying, there's 2 game balls. He said there's no reason for Giannis to come sprinting over. Everyone's confused as to, you know, who got what basketball. It's just silliness.
Right. It's not like somebody set the all-time NBA record or did so, you know. It's just, yeah.
That was good stuff. Wolves are on the road in Texas to play the Dallas Mavericks. 7:30 on BSN Plus is what they call it. Bally Sports North Plus.
I think Doncic is playing. I don't think Kyrie is playing tonight.
Oh, he drives me nuts.
So
Kyrie guy.
It'll be, and Doncic, I think, is banged up. So we'll see how healthy he looks if he is playing.
Well, they're a very, very good team, and they've got such a tough stretch of games. We've talked about it. They just got done with New Orleans, now Dallas. Then what do they got after that? The Celtics, the Magic. This is rough.
Yeah, but they proved themselves early in the year against tougher competition.
I'm just
so
saying.
I mean, at some point you can't. It's what it's funny how this conversation has switched from last year, because last year we all were like dreading seeing them play the Pistons. Because they struggled against bad teams.
They did. They had trouble with bad teams.
And we were kind of thankful when they played better teams. Now it's kind of like the opposite.
Well, I'm just saying this is a tough stretch of games.
It is.
I don't get.
And it should. And it should be, because the Western Conference is full of tough teams.
Yeah.
It just is.
By the way, the Pistons lost last night. They've lost 21 games in a row.
Oh, gosh.
They're just the 14th team in the history of the NBA to reach that amount of straight losses.
What is the all-time record?
28.
28. And
Yes.
who set that record?
What is it here?
Do we know?
The 76ers from 2000 plus 15 lost 28 games in a row.
Wow. Wow.
So the story I read.
I think they're very much on the way to breaking that record.
Well, yeah. I mean, they've lost 21 games in a row. Of course, they're on the way to.
Well, I'm just saying, I don't see a lot of hope for that lineup. If you look at their lineup,
I don't know their lineup.
They've got some injuries right now too, but it's a young lineup, and they're just not very.
Do they still have Bogdanovich?
They do. He's been in and out of the lineup. He's been injured, but he's back playing now.
He's a terrific shooter. I said it that way because I went to the New Year's Eve game last year where the Wolves played the Pistons, and this Bogdanovich guy scored like 38 points. So all night, and the Wolves just got whooped by this terrible basketball team last year on New Year's Eve. So if you were at the game, you know how the announcer operates there at the Wolves game. If you were at the game, all we heard all night long was swish, Bogdanovich. Swish, Bogdanovich.
I do love the under-enthusiasm when the other team scores.
I do like that.
That's a good bit.
That is a good bit.
Bogdanovich. All night long, I was going crazy. So it says here that if the Pistons, continue to be a pile of garbage, they could break the all-time consecutive losses record by December 30th, before the year is out.
Yeah.
We'll see about that.
I mean, you just look at the roster, and it's so void of any sort of superstar player. It's just.
Except for who, Josh?
What? I'm sorry, I was getting some audio
It's
ready.
void of all superstar players, the Detroit Pistons, except for who?
Who's my favorite Detroit Piston?
Bogdanovich. Did you friggin' people see? God, I feel bad for this guy because his teammates are going to bust his balls until he retires. Did you guys see the video of Zion Williamson trying to say the word lackadaisical?
This is the audio I was getting ready.
I think we kind of went into the game too lackadaisical.
We've all been there.
Yeah. Sure. Like, what was I trying to say yesterday? Calgary.
Off air.
I can't say that very well.
You said it better now. Calgary. Say it again.
Calgary.
Good job. There you go.
All right, cool.
Good.
All right, yeah. Thanks, guys.
We all have a word that we struggle with. Mine is entrepreneur. I can't say it.
Well, the worst are the words you know very well, but you just can't say it one day for some reason.
I've been struggling lately with Luther Kia of Bloomington. That is so good. I could listen to that all day long.
Yeah.
Lackadaisical.
Oh, maybe that'll be my new text
Is
tone.
what he said.
Oh, look, Nick texted me.
God, that's good.
I remember when Gronk was trying to say devastating, and he said devastating.
Oh, yeah. I think I have that.
Devastating.
Of course, a big hit around here lately has been Carcucci board.
Yeah.
I love Carcucci board.
There you go. Yeah, they made shirts about that and everything, too.
That's beautiful. Zion Williamson went to friggin' Duke. You know, he's a smart dude. He's a smart dude, but he gong showed lackadaisical, and I guarantee his teammates are going to bomb him.
Lackadaisical.
There you go.
Absolutely devastating.
Oh, that's frustrating.
That could be your national anthem.
That's good stuff. A friend of mine can't say Bartholomew without adding an L at the end.
Bartholomew.
Yes, so he always says Bartholomew. I mean, not that it's a common word that comes up in conversation, but ever since we were kids, I've busted his balls about that. He can't say Bartholomew. He always has to put an L at the end.
I totally do that too.
Well, yeah, you kind of run the show when it comes to mispronunciations, Ashley, but you knew that already.
I don't
didn't
know,
you?
Nick. There's one in particular that you struggle with. I'm going to try and give you some redemption opportunities.
Oh,
here.
for God's sake, not this word again. I can never.
I think there's
What's the
got to
word?
be a psychological reason why you can't say it. For those that may not know, Nick recently got married in September.
You guys met my friggin' new wife?
Yeah. She's cool.
And so I had to tell him, well, you know, this means that's it for other women. And I told him he needs to be monogamous. And he tried to repeat the word, and he can't. Go ahead, Nick, try it.
Mammary.
Oh, no. You need to be monogamous.
My mama. You're right. That's
Mahogany.
That's my lackadaisical. I cannot say the word.
But it's weird because, like I said, it's psychological because I don't cheat on my wife. So what am I in my relationship?
You don't cheat on your wife.
I do not.
You are dog on the bus.
No. You used to be able to say it when it applied to other people.
Yeah, I did. I'm getting worse.
Yeah, try it again. My wife and I are what?
You two. You and your wife.
Yes.
Monogamous.
Yeah, so then you, oh, this is great. You and your wife are?
Lagapus. Lagapus. Octopus.
Swamp Stompin' Jesus says he can't say, I'm wrong.
Oh, that's a tough one. Summa cum laude, magna cum laude, the radio's too loudy. What movie? 651-989-9393. Start your message with Nick. Summa cum laude, magna cum laude, the radio's too loudy. The first one with the correct answer gets my undying respect, and I'll be disappointed. I already am disappointed in all of you for not knowing the answer.
Well, what if we do and we just didn't want to answer?
Oh, well, then I love you.
Okay.
Okay. Is
Is it a person's name?
Yes.
Okay.
It's one of the funniest movies of all time.
I've never seen the movie, but I've heard you with the quote.
Well, now I'm mad at you.
Oh,
now,
dang it.
Now I no longer love you as much as I did a minute ago. Hey, Randy Shaver, Miguel Cabrera is going to continue to play professional baseball in Venezuela in his home country. He wants to play one more season in his home country.
Oh, that's fun.
I bet that'll be a riot.
Oh, I bet.
Mm-hmm. Just wall-to-wall ass. No monogamy there.
See?
Well, I'm talking about somebody else.
Yeah.
You're right, everybody. Johnny Dangerously. Thank you. That's great. Johnny Dangerously. If for no other reason, if you've never seen Johnny Dangerously, which is so funny. What's his name? Who played Batman? What's his name again? Michael Keaton. And
I love that guy.
And the guy who played the monster in Young Frankenstein, Peter Boyle, and Joe Piscopo. And
Danny DeVito was in there.
Danny DeVito, my God.
Quarterback
yes.
for the Giants.
Tommy Cutlets.
If that doesn't convince you to watch Johnny Dangerously, and I know some of you are saying, yes, I've heard this effing rant before. If the comedic talent isn't enough for you to watch Johnny Dangerously, then watch it for no other reason than 1984 Mary Lou Henner. Are you nuts? Are you crazy or something? 1984 Mary Lou Henner is about as wah-wah-wee-wah as it gets. And she's also very funny.
Michael Keaton, I just watched The Other Guys a couple nights ago with my son, and I forgot how funny he was in that movie.
Yeah.
He was so good.
His mother in that movie is so friggin' funny. His mother. The opening scene, she says into the camera, "The Lower East Side. This really sucks." Another baseball note, Zach Greinke not ready to retire yet. He's 40 years old. Isn't that pretty much...
Yeah, he's
okay.
kind of washed.
Here's the deal. Zach Greinke, not ready to retire. He's 40. He's reportedly communicated to big league teams that he's preparing to pitch next season, and he's open to contract talks. Do we basically hand him a Twins jersey today?
No, I think he's washed.
They need starting pitching.
I'd rather see them call up a kid from AAA than do that.
You know what, Randy? You're like a daughter to me, so there's something that I want to tell you.
Yes.
You're like a... when I'm done with my line, say, what the hell's Johnny's real last name in the movie Johnny Dangerously? Someone look it up. Forget it. You say, no, forget it. Since I don't know the last name, it's not going to work. But Randy, you're like a daughter to me. I want to tell you something. Okay?
Johnny Kelly.
Oh, so Randy, you say, "What's that, Ma Kelly?" Okay, you ready? Hey, Randy, you're like a daughter to me. I want to tell you something.
What's that, Ma Kelly?
I go both ways.
Sorry, I asked.
I think that used to be a radio drop around here. Honestly, I remember that.
That's such a hilarious scene.
Yeah.
Ma Kelly is her purse is overstuffed with items, right? And so she's handing Mary Lou Henner, her new daughter-in-law, some of these items. Here, hang on to these things for me. She hands her like a coin purse, some mascara, a big giant dildo. So all this happens in Johnny Dangerously.
I want to share something with you.
Oh, what's that, Mom Kelly?
I go both ways.
Oh, man. The pigs are in... Where are the pigs playing tonight, Dana?
Calgary.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you.
See?
Thank you. Wow. I did it.
It was really bad off the air the other day.
I could not get it out. It was awful.
Pigs are at Calgary, 7 o'clock on Valley Sports North. There you go, Randy. Tomorrow's Friday. I think we've got it.
Wait a second.
Yes, go ahead.
The Wild is in Calgary.
Oh, sorry. The home game.
Playing at
sorry.
7? Okay.
Sorry. I was coming up with more quotes from Johnny Dangerously. I wasn't thinking about where the friggin' rink, where they're playing tonight.
I was going to say that'd be 5 o'clock in Calgary.
Yeah. They're playing a home game tonight.
Okay.
But no one's going to go. No one's
people will go.
They're not going to the game.
Of course they will.
Why would they go?
Of course they will.
Stay home and watch.
Why would they go?
Mary Lou Henner programming.
Thursday Night Football. That's why. Yeah, they'll be watching that on Friday.
Oh, yeah.
We'll talk to you tomorrow, Randy.
All right, sounds good.
Half-assed morning show.
They're loud. They lose control. They do their little circus act. They're a nuisance.
93X.
Grace here, customer service rep at Standard Heating. I'm proud to work for a company that understands and takes care of our fellow Minnesotans. Our weather here can be a little unpredictable and even extreme. That's why we've been here for 93 years and counting, to keep our community safe and comfortable.
On behalf of myself and Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, we would like to wish you a very happy holidays. And don't forget, Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is open 24/7 for emergency services to make sure you stay warm this holiday season. Go to standardheating.com today.
Get an inside look at Hollywood with Michael Rosenbaum.
Let's get inside of my father, John Glover. We watch talk film, and most of these episodes I never saw.
I didn't watch the show.
You never once saw yourself on Smallville.
In the beginning, I used to look at myself all the time and love to. And then as I get older, I stopped.
Why is that?
I don't know. Maybe because I'm older.
I was going to talk to you about that because you're 79.
Yeah.
How old do you feel?
11.
Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum. Wherever you listen.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Half-assed morning show, he says. Yeah, I hear you. It's 8:29. There she is. Welcome back to the program. Our guest in studio is fresh off banging a fan.
That's right.
Yes. Hi, guys.
How you doing? We get to hear all about it. Local gal turned porn star Jordan Maxx. Hello, Jordan.
Hello.
How did it go with that fan F?
Actually, it could not have gone better.
What?
That's
I
awesome.
was super surprised. He was so professional. He was so polite. We had a really good time, and I think that translated into the video. So it'll be coming out shortly after the new year. And yeah, it was a really good. I had a really awesome time.
You
actually.
effed a fan and you made a friend.
Yeah, exactly.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
It's like a Hallmark movie. It's like
Really,
everyone
for
you see.
sure.
So, does this person maybe have a future in the business if he wants it, or is it just more for what you guys did at work?
Oh, I would say if they wanted to go professional, they definitely could.
There you go.
Yeah.
You heard it from a seasoned professional. He could make it, huh?
I think so.
Well, I'll tell you what. Look for it after the new year. Jordan Maxx filmed her very first
Very first FA fan.
F a fan.
Is this something you think you'll do again?
I think I might. You know, it was fun. I don't know, though. I don't want to ruin a good thing. You know, like, there's very high expectations now for my next fan if I do choose to do this again.
What about a female fan? I thought you would.
Oh, I haven't done a female. I could do that one. Yeah, there we go.
Great
That would be
idea,
great.
Cubby.
I love it.
That's
Speaking of fans, can I do a shout out really quick?
Yeah.
Of course.
I just want to say hi to Mr. Slattery. I'm so sorry I forgot your first name, but you are my neighbor. And I know you listen to the show with your coworkers every morning, so I just wanted to give you a shout out and say thanks so much for being a fan.
That's very
nice.
cool.
Tuning in. Yeah, he stopped me in the parking lot the other day. He was like, "Hey, are you Jordan Maxx?" And I was like, "Yeah, what's up?" He was like, "I love you on 93X." So,
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah, he was like, "My coworkers and I listen to you every morning." So,
You know, we used to
just
have.
want to say hi.
That's great. That's awesome. And thank you guys. Thanks for listening. We had a boss who hated it if we recognized listeners on the air. If we mentioned, we gave out
Sorry.
shout outs. Oh, no problem. Gave shout outs.
Well, this was a long time ago.
Yeah, a long time ago. And you remember what he used to say?
No, I don't.
This isn't a 100,000 watt pager. He hated it when we recognized people.
God forbid.
So many people have come and gone from this building who just did not get it.
No.
They just didn't get it.
Well, you know, he thought he was the man.
But yet they were in a position of authority. You don't need to hear us go off on this again, but I want to get in on this F a fan thing. I want to have sex with one of your fans.
Okay. Sure. We could arrange that.
You sound really sold on this guy. Is there like a relationship budding or something?
No.
Oh.
No.
I got excited.
Not to like shut that down.
No, I understand.
I'm still very painfully single.
All right.
I've never been reminded of that more than this time of year.
I'd imagine.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
That's true with all the love crap. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Every Hallmark movie is about romance.
The Hallmark movies, the engagement announcements on my
Oh,
Facebook.
yeah. People are usually announcing like pregnancies at this time, too.
Everybody asks, when are you getting engaged or when are you having a baby?
Yeah.
I'd imagine in your career you've been in a lot of awkward positions, so I don't want to put you in another one here. But we did get a text from Jiu-Jitsu Jesus. He said someone told him you're giving away free penis reviews to 93X listeners, or is he just messing with me?
Oh, I could.
Okay, so that's not something you're doing. He's just messing with me.
He's just messing with you. I could though. If you want to subscribe and like shout out brotherhood or sisterhood, I will waive that fee for you.
That's awesome.
That's excited.
What a world.
Discounts.
I love this
You just gotta ask. Closed mouths don't get fed.
Wapple, maybe you got a little message and picture to send later on.
No, I'm good. I couldn't do that.
How many D's are you rating in a day? How many D's are you? What's the term? Not rating. What are you doing?
Yeah, no, rating.
Okay,
Yeah.
you are rating them.
Yeah. Giving and reviewing an evaluation.
Critiquing, sure.
Yes.
Strategy
Evaluation.
where you start with the positives and then move on to the negatives, or how do you do it?
I do have a strategy. Yeah. It all depends on what they want. Some ratings, there's the whole small humiliation. They like that.
Sure.
Some
They
of them-
want you to say, you call that a penis?
Yes, exactly.
Right. Okay.
Right. There's that, or honesty, or just praise. So there's a few different ways I go about it, depending on their vibe and what they're looking for.
I want a compliment sandwich. You get
What does that mean?
You get the good, and then you get the bad, and then you end with the good.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good on each side, bad in the middle.
That's pretty much how I do it.
I think, that's like a management strategy, right?
Yeah.
All they really want to tell you is the middle, but they realize you're a human being, so they have to put a little focaccia on the top and the bottom.
We went through the training.
Just rating them up and down, ranking them, critiquing them. What a gig.
Yeah, it's great. I do about, I would say between 5 and 10 a day.
Are you serious?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a lot of peepees.
Yeah. Some are much prettier than others, as with everything in life.
Everything in life.
I mean, I'm wondering if there's a way for the radio you could describe your perfect penis. And why is it Nick's?
Wow. Is that able? Are we able to do that?
Yeah,
Describe
I don't know. I
the
was trying to
perfect.
think there's a way to.
I don't want to put Jordan in a tough spot there.
Yeah.
No, probably not.
It's not hanging off of a dog.
Oh, that's
It's
good.
hanging off of a human being.
Yes.
We get a text message from I drive a Hyundai but ride your dad Sheezes.
I love that.
Yeah, she says, I've never been a pick me type of a girl, she says, but she says, Jordan needs to pick me for the F a Female Fan video.
All right, shoot me a message. We could arrange it.
Send Jordan a message, she says. That's exciting. Very exciting. We missed you at Toys for Tatas.
We did.
It wasn't
Yes.
quite the same without
I'm
you.
sorry.
the
How
same.
did it go? Was it
was
a good
awesome.
time?
It was
Yeah.
very good. It was a very good time. And people did come up and ask if you were going to be able to show up. And we said, no, she's got a work obligation.
I know. I was on a flight at that time. I had to be at the airport at 7 a.m.
Because you left town to F this fan.
Oh no, this wasn't. No, FFan was 2 weekends ago.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. This was just. FFan was 2 weekends ago. This was just a filming trip down to Fort Lauderdale, Miami.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we had a great time, of course. And
Good,
again,
I'm glad.
Thanks to Rick's Cabaret, but, it was a little different without you.
Oh well, next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully next year.
Hopefully next year. I'll come back for it. Absolutely.
Yeah, but Josh said by the time the gimmick was over, by the time the bit was over, we even had to add a couple of extra charities because we had so many toys brought by our wonderful listening audience.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Aren't 93X listeners the best? I mean,
Yes.
honestly, it means so much. And I don't know if they'd be cool with it or not, but we should film when the toys are delivered. I mean, just so you can see the reaction. I mean, maybe it would change how things go, but I'll tell you, it's so rewarding to see that. And
You've seen it a few times.
Absolutely.
You see the folks on the other end just be, wow, thank you, that kind of a thing.
And we're so grateful to the folks. I mean, Wapple, you and I were hanging out together most of the time, and I mean, how many people just came in and said, "Hey, just stopping by. Here's a toy. I got to go to work," or there's somebody had to get to a flight. Things like
had
that.
to have been at least 15.
At least,
Definitely.
yeah. It was awesome. It was so awesome. People are
Speaking
so
of-
good at this stuff. It's
Speaking
great.
of gift giving, what was I reading here? Oh, I know I can find this. Speaking of gift giving, okay. If I can't find it, I think I can remember how to say it. Come this time of year, come the holiday season, it's giving the gift of a sex worker has become kind of a thing where I would, for Christmas, I'd give Josh, on me, I'd buy him an escort. That's way better than a yo-yo or an etch-a-sketch in my book. You know what I'm saying? Where is that article? Who else read that article?
I did. Let me see if I can find it for you.
Yeah. Buying a sex worker has become a gift that you give to a friend around the holiday.
Too many articles. That's the problem.
I think that's really cool. I think that's really interesting. All right, what else is going on? Speaking of Christmas, it's quickly approaching. You and your family go buck wild come the holiday season, Jordan?
I have a really small family. There's only 5 of us, so we keep it low key. We have dinner, we play cribbage, we do gifts, and then we have dessert, and then we call it a night.
Mm-hmm. Do you have siblings?
I have one younger brother.
Okay.
Yeah. I still don't have his gift. I should do that.
Oh, you got a little time.
I got a little bit of time.
What's he
it's like
into?
2 whole
Maybe we
weeks.
can help. What's he
What's
into?
he into? He's like an outdoorsy type of guy. He
Yeah.
loves going
Patagonia.
camp. Yeah, Patagonia, Carhartt. He loves going camping. He loves going hiking. He loves hunting.
Okay.
Fishing. He's like He's like your quintessential Minnesota man.
So him and I have
wears a
nothing
lot
in
of
common.
flannel.
So my stepdaughter, I've got a Carhartt jacket, right?
Yeah.
And I wore it the other day. My stepdaughter's like, "Oh, did you just finish a hard day of work?"
I love her.
I get crap for absolutely. I can't do anything right by the kids. Nothing.
They love roasting
Like
you.
I thought this was a nice jacket, but yeah, so I'm getting crap for that too.
Well, so you have a little small get together. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, small get together, nothing crazy. It's a good time. It's nice. It's fun. We always our anniversary. Our tradition is we get barbecue ribs and cheesy hash browns.
Heck yeah.
And like that's like our dinner. We have barbecue ribs for Christmas dinner.
That's awesome.
It's the best. It's so good. You know, we get cornbread. It's really fun.
That sounds good.
Yeah, that's a good. Right there, that's a good layout.
Yeah.
I could handle that. By the way, Dana, you sounded disgusting with your sick voice and the way you responded to those
Sorry
ribs.
about that.
That was really gross.
I just love ribs.
Jordan, are you I can't remember. Are you a techie person? Are you into techie things?
A little bit here and there. It's got to be really. I gotta really be into it to get into it.
I'd say you are. I mean,
Yeah.
you got like a fancy phone and phone light, and then
I've got the new
you play video
iPhone.
games.
Yeah,
In
I've
order
got my
to-
Nintendo Switch.
In order to have all of your social media pages and whatnot, I bet you have to know a thing or two about gadgets, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So someone tell me then, because this happens every year. What is the hot, hip, you gotta have it, I'd hip check an old lady out the way to get it, techie item this Christmas? Does anyone know?
I don't think there really is
I don't
one
know.
because there's no new consoles coming out that I've heard of.
Consoles?
Yeah,
like a
so
video
like
game
an
console.
Xbox 360,
Oh,
PlayStation,
video
stuff like
game
that.
console.
Yeah.
I've got an Apple Watch on my Christmas list.
I think
You know, that's,
yeah, those were like
huge.
super big, huh?
they just
Smartwatches.
came out with like the new model
Oh, okay.
in September, I think. So I've got that on my list. I've never had an Apple Watch before, but I want to get one.
Yeah, neither have I. They intimidate me because I'm just like it doesn't make sense for me because I feel like my finger is just too big.
Yeah.
I'm not going to click the right app ever.
I had one for I'm not a watch person, and but I bought one for the very first time. I think maybe it was the first or second generation, and I got it because I thought, you know what, it's kind of rude to keep pulling your phone out and stuff when you get texts.
Yeah.
And so I thought, well, I'll just get my watch, and then I can kind of do a quick glance and know if it's important.
Yeah, it looked like James Bond.
Right, exactly. That's the other.
Josh always looks like James Bond.
But then the other, what happened though is I do that, and people are like, "Oh, you got to go? You got to get out of here." So it became more rude, where people thought I was looking at my watch like, "Well, I'm done with this conversation."
Yeah. Well, see you later.
So I ended up just giving it away. It totally backfired on me.
One of my favorite bits, really honestly, one of my favorite bits when someone's boring me at the bar is I will look at my wrist as if I have a watch, but there's not a watch there.
Doing that.
You know, what the
Get
hell?
outta here.
What the hell time is it? So that's kind of odd. I mean, I thought every year, I'm not a techie guy, but I thought every year there was an item that everyone was just strangling each other in the aisles over.
It would have been really cool if Nintendo Switch would have came out with a new video game console in time for Christmas.
That
That
would've
would have been a very smart decision on their
What's
behalf.
wrong with the old one?
It's just cool. Get in a
6
better
years
one,
old
like
at
a
this
nicer
point.
one and better one.
The Switch. Which one was the?
The
handheld.
Switch, yeah.
I had one of those for a while. I played Mario Kart on it.
Yeah.
That's the one. Okay.
I feel like
I love it when you feel things.
Yeah.
I do.
There's a new VR headset too that's coming out that everyone wants.
Oh,
That's good. Apple's VR headset. That's going to be ridiculous.
Oh, it's Apple's?
Yeah.
You're too expensive.
Everybody's
Oh,
whacking
gosh.
off.
The other thing I'm hearing a lot is those espresso machines, like from Nespresso.
Oh, I had one of
Everyone
those.
wants
I ended up
those.
giving it to my mom.
Espresso
Too
machine
much work.
from Nespresso.
Yep.
All right, I don't drink
Folks
coffee.
are texting in on the PlayStation Portal being something that'll be big. A lot of smart home stuff.
Okay.
That kind of stuff's pretty popular
All right.
as far as the techie things go.
Whoa, this PlayStation Portal thing looks sweet. I've never even heard about this before.
Yeah, it's almost like that new backbone where you can play it. You hook your phone up to it and you can play phone games, and it looks like a controller.
Oh, that's
It's easier to
their
play.
phone that they're having plugged in there. Oh, I don't know
Friggin' everything, all at once.
Half-assed morning show 93X.
Here we go. We're back. We got a few minutes to go here on the program. We got Jordan Maxx in studio. And we were talking a little bit about what are the hot techie items that might be flying off the shelves this Christmas. And it sounds like there isn't one singular. But I got a text message from a guy. Is he messing with me? I think this is a joke. A listener texted in and said the hot new tech item this year is smart glasses. Isn't that like an item that they tried a few years ago and it went nowhere?
Yeah, Google
Glass.
Yep. If there is a new one, I'm not familiar.
I knew he was messing with me.
Folks are texting in about the Blackstone Grill.
I want one of those so bad.
Yeah.
Bomb.
You got one?
Love it.
A buddy of
steal
mine
it.
got that for Christmas last year and loves it.
Yeah, it's dope.
I've heard people talk about those.
One day.
Like, that's the thing people want.
So there you go. We've had questions coming in for Jordan Maxx. You feel like fielding a couple of questions, Jordan?
Yeah, I would love to.
Where the hell is this now? I have it. Have you ever made a holiday season or Christmas-themed porno movie?
Oh, good question.
I have not yet. That's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I am just so bad at timing. I have time blind. Like today, I know today's Thursday because I'm here, but literally, I don't pay attention to times of the month usually. I'm like every day blurs together, so I'm always like, oh, I should make a Christmas porno, and I'll be like thinking about it in October, and then by the time December comes around, I'll like have completely forgotten that I should have done that until it's like the day after Christmas.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll make a New Year's one.
Oh,
There
yeah.
you go. I could do that.
You always seem to be going somewhere cool. I mean, a concert or a damn AEW show. So what the hell are you doing? What are you doing on New Year's Eve? You probably just go bananas on New Year's Eve.
Oh, yeah. Well, this year for New Year's, I am going to see Motion City Soundtrack at the Uptown Theater.
Oh, sweet.
Fun.
On
I like
New
those
Year's
guys.
Eve. Yeah, they're great. Super fun. It's like an anniversary show, so it should be a good time. I'm going with my brother and his girlfriend and a few friends, and it's going to be a blast. I'm really looking forward to it.
I'll be in bed by 10 o'clock.
God, I hope I'm in bed before that.
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock, that's ridiculous. I'd imagine you're going to be out late. Well, you're a young person. You can handle that. Somebody texted me earlier, and they're saying they're going to a concert tomorrow night, and they're really looking forward to the show, but the idea of being out past 10 is kind of giving them anxiety.
Understandable.
Why can't concerts start at 5 o'clock?
I agree.
They used to back in the day. We need like marquee concerts,
Yes.
for the afternoon crowd. Like I'd go to First Avenue at 3 o'clock in the afternoon on a Sunday to watch my favorite band.
Yeah.
For me, it would have to be a Friday, only on Friday.
Okay.
There's a very small window for Josh to want to see a show.
Yeah.
Early evening. That's way more my speed. All right, so you're going to a show right here in town for New Year's Eve.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
It's unbelievable. And one more question came in from a female. And I know this will be tough for you to answer because you don't know this woman at all or know what she looks like, but she says, I'm looking to give my man a lap dance with happy ending for Christmas.
Ooh, I love that.
Okay, and she wants advice on the outfit. Batgirl, if you had to choose, Batgirl or Harley Quinn?
Ooh, go with Batgirl.
Is that because of like the rubbery?
That's right. Yeah, the super tight rubber suit.
Yeah, I feel like it's so different. I feel like Harley Quinn's been done before.
Yes.
I feel like it's predictable. I feel like Batgirl is a little bit, she doesn't get a lot of props in the DC universe. I'm sorry, Marvel fans. I grew up on DC. My dad has all the Batman, Superman comic books. So I was reading Supergirl. I was reading Batgirl. Like, I was reading Catwoman, all of that. Those are my girls. So I'm a little partial to the DC universe. But yeah, I'd go with Batgirl. Yeah, that like sexy rubbery, like that latex vinyl look.
Mm-hmm.
The little ears, the tail, the whiskers.
Yeah, so cute.
Pooping in a litter box. Yeah, everything.
That's Catwoman. We're talking Batgirl.
Yeah. Not a cat, Cubby, a bat.
Well, what's the difference? Aren't they this? No, one has a C in front of it. You're right. And one has a B in front of it. I was picturing Catwoman. Yeah, Batgirl. You're right. She's so underthought of, I couldn't even picture who she was. Batgirl. Who played, was it Halle Berry that played Batgirl?
She played Catwoman.
She played Catwoman.
I've got Catwoman on the brain.
It's not your fault.
Now that you mention it, I mean, I don't remember I don't watch any of that stuff, but Batgirl, I mean, has she been featured in those movies lately?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, I'm picturing the Batgirl from the 60s that I watched in reruns when I was a kid.
Exactly, yeah.
The purple suit and everything.
Yeah.
Right.
Total babe.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
She was stacked.
Old school TV show Batgirl. That's what I was picturing.
They made a Batgirl movie recently, but they canceled it and it never came out.
I'm reading that right now.
Why?
The studio was able to save tax dollars or something by just not even putting the movie out. They would make more money by not putting the movie out than by actually putting it out.
What?
Wow.
I bet a Catgirl movie wouldn't have got canceled.
Yeah.
I bet you're right.
All right, let's see if we can get this right. Did Alicia Silverstone play Batgirl at one point or another?
Yeah,
Ooh,
in
yes,
Batman
she did.
and Robin.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's who I was thinking of. I was going to ask about her, but I thought for sure I was wrong and it was Catgirl again.
You gotta, I mean, this is stuff that'll make you think, because I don't follow the comic book stuff. But you're on one side. You're on the, which side are you on, Jordan?
I like DC.
DC. And the other one is what?
Marvel.
Marvel, okay.
I mean, I like Marvel too. There's just too many superheroes to keep track of.
That's so true.
I feel there's so many characters.
Well, growing up for me, certainly it was Batman and Superman.
Yeah.
And those, especially Superman.
People love that rivalry, don't they?
Oh, absolutely. Like, people just love a good rivalry.
It's like Star Trek, Star Wars.
Ford, Chevy.
Ford, Chevy.
Sega and Nintendo back in the day.
Vikings, Packers.
Well, sure. Absolutely. All right, well, we got to get going here, Jordan Maxx. Make sure you dump all the info out for your fans as to where they can see you.
Yeah, you can find me at jordanmax.com, 2 X's. All my links are on there. So, yeah, feel free to reach out. Shoot me a message on OnlyFans today. Drop the brotherhood or sisterhood, and I'll give you a free or reduced penis rating.
That's the coolest thing I've heard all day.
Yeah, no kidding. That's awesome.
We won't get to see you before Christmas, so have a Merry Christmas.
Thank you. You guys too.
And have fun on New Year's Eve.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Jordan.
Thanks.
Nice to see you.
Bye.
Happy 27th anniversary to our friend Brad Ryder and his better half. Brad, 27 years today. She's put up with a lot, hasn't she?
That's a long time.
She could do better.
Did he text you about that?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
She's a lawyer. What is she doing? A good number to have in your phone, our Luther Bloomington Kia text line. Not only do we get to have the great pleasure of hearing from you daily, but it gives us an opportunity to thank you for doing so. We'd like to give you that opportunity right now. If you text the word cycle to 651-989-9393, cycle. And when you do, you could win tickets to the 93X Twin City Takeover starring Stained Saturday, May 4th at the X. And just like every morning, just before 9 a.m., you'll be entered to win a lab-grown Tacori diamond from Arthur's Jewelers, furnished by Ledge Entertainment and Arthur's Jewelers.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. 93X.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. New episodes drop each weekday. If your podcast platform has ratings, go ahead and give us 5 stars and maybe give our enemies 1. Thanks, and here's a word from our sponsor.
On behalf of myself and Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, we would like to wish you a very happy holidays. And don't forget, Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is open 24/7 for emergency services to make sure you stay warm this holiday season. Go to standardheating.com today.